Anyway, let's go live. Hello everybody and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will and today we are back and we are playing Call of Cthulhu episode 2 and we're back on Horror of the Orient Express. Although we're not on the Orient Express yet, so it's just horror right now. Just horror. And then when we get onto the Orient Express, then we can call a campaign now. But we've got our cast of players back today. Haley couldn't make it, but she'll be back next week. But let's go around the cast and crew. How are we? Who are we? And who are we playing? 3 simple questions. Let's start with Redundant. How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's not going too badly at all.
I feel like I came at that with a 12 and you came at that with a 4. I'm like, how are you doing? And you're like, I'm not bad. I'm not bad.
I'm saving my energy for Harvey because I think I'm going to need him.
Oh, yeah.
Considering I had good rolls last time, and we all know if you had good rolls one game, they're not going to be there for the second. So, I'm playing Harvey Hiddleston. He is a young aristocrat, very wealthy, who has had a very traumatic experience. And how he's going to deal with that, well, I don't know. But there is one other thing I just need to quickly do.
All right. Oh, yeah. 10 months. Oh, my God. Our child is a month old. I think the first 10. Oh, so cute. Oh, man. Let's go to Greg. How you doing, Greg?
Hey, I'm doing great. I am nervous as hell, and can't wait to play this. My name's Greg, and I'll be playing Herb Patterson, the former Rough Rider. And he got lucky last week, and like Redundant said, I think that luck has just been used up, so we'll see, man.
Yeah, and we have Lindy back today. How's it going, Lindy?
Oh, doing spiffy. I will be playing Nancy McDrew, Scottish investigator, and we've discovered she has a bit of an alcohol problem, but currently she's more worried about the cannibal problem on this train, and she just wants to go to the Orient Express and eat actual fancy rich people food and stuff. And it's just not happening.
We'll see. I'm sure we'll get there at some point. But yes, I actually am dressed for the occasion, as the others are as well. Not for this occasion, but Sydney's dad is in like this 50 grand poker tournament, and so I'm representing him with the Las Vegas t-shirt he bought for me. Wishing you luck out there, Greg. So, other Greg. So, let's remind ourselves of where we are in the campaign today, because we had last week's session, and a hell of a lot happened last week. So, you guys are investigators, so you, of course, have very detailed notes of what happened last time. So, let's try and remember what happened last episode. Let's start back from with Lindy. So Lindy, you guys were in London. It's 1923. You went to a seminar with a bloke.
Yes, we went to a seminar of A.J. Smith because he does ghosty stuff, according to my notes.
That's right.
There was a lecture. It was called The Haunting, and he had a bunch of stuff about that. Nancy, didn't doze off, but was tempted. After that, he asked us to go back to his meet him at his house the next night for dinner. Unfortunately, that never happened because in the newspapers the next morning we discovered that his house had burnt to the ground and that there had been a series of murders in a different hotel.
That's right. Yeah. 3 identical men had been murdered. And it was kind of, a mystery in the papers, kind of Sherlock Holmes type case.
Indeed.
So, Greg, do you remember what happened next? You guys went to investigate the burnt down house of A.J. Smith.
Correct. Yeah, we all met up basically at the burnt down house. We were where we encountered 2 of the inspectors from Scotland Yard. We were able to Nancy and I snuck over to the carriage house where she spotted a letter addressed to us from the professor to meet at a hotel down the way. We also found a fully loaded revolver, and that's pretty much what we did there. And then we all went our separate ways, and we went to the hotel, and then we met with the professor.
Yeah.
Where he, yeah. Do you want me to keep going?
No, keep going. It's
Okay.
strong.
Yeah, right. The professor was burned. He explained to us then that he had assembled us for the reason of tracking down what was essentially some type of occult device called the simulacrum. He told us about the Orient Express and how it was the luxury train of the continent and how it luckily would take us through all of the necessary routes and cities that we had to go to. I have them all listed down, but and then we were told by Beddoes, his accomplice, or gave us 1,000 in sterling and sent on our way. And
yeah, and then we'll go to redundant. So you guys were given a £1,000 sterling, which in 1923 was that shit ton of money, and told that you need to find these 6 pieces of this artifact known as a Sedefkar simulacrum, which this cult are after. He's under the impression that they are, quote, Turkish madmen, and they are dead set on finding this artifact, putting it together for some dark purpose, which he believes is real because he believes in ghosts. But you guys probably more on the fact that these guys are probably just religious zealots. So Harvey, you've been given this money, you took the job, and do you remember what happened next of you guys?
Yeah, we went to Vegas for a £1,000 poker tournament.
That's right, yeah, and we all lived happily ever after.
Yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Wait, no, that's this episode.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Spoilers. Yeah, we went to the station. I can't remember what station it was. I don't think it was. Victoria?
I think it was London Liverpool Street because it was a train from Liverpool. Yeah.
So we were waiting for the train. We read in the paper of a man missing.
Yes.
I can't remember his name. But he was an expert. He was like a train expert, basically.
Henry
Stanley, that's the one.
Yeah.
Spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, and an unusual train kind of set in. It wasn't the train we were looking for. However, Harvey had a strange urge to go on because, Harvey is a nosy git. So he decided to head on, much to his dismay. It was full of kind of ghoulish cannibals, I suppose you could say, former passengers.
From 1890s garb.
1890, that's it. That had been lost to time and space and everything. It was almost like a Doctor Who-esque episode thing.
Yeah, very much so.
So we all met up in there. They came running after Harvey, and we had a pitch battle. One of the conductors there was still there, who had unfortunately gone absolutely insane, surviving by hiding and then eating the remains of the unfortunate passengers that would be on there. There was a pitch battle. Harvey went Super Saiyan, and he went insane and killed 2 of them. Herb and Pat, 3. Was it 3? I thought you killed a few.
Shot one.
I did kill one with a gun, didn't I?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Herb got about 2, I think, something like that. There were quite a few. It was about 9 of them altogether. Herb got quite a few with his
I got 2
dual pistols. Yeah, Lindy with the big, huge revolver that that Herb gave her. Like holding it like this. So we fought and we survived, but not all scars are physical. Although Harvey's are, because he almost got his eyes punched.
Yeah, that's true. So these kind of passengers who were in like this sort of 1890s garb, very strange, dead behind the eyes, didn't really have any sort of pupils, were just kind of coming towards you. And this train conductor, Alexis, had explained to you that he was trying to create a ritual out of these organs that he'd harvested from their bodies. And he'd kind of eaten their bones as well, so he's definitely a cannibal. He's looking at Henry Stanley as if he might end up eating him as well. You managed to defeat these guys, get enough of the parts to form the full ritual, and Henry Stanley, as the train expert, managed to put the pieces together to basically form a perfect model of the train out of offal and organs of people. He stitched it together, and at that moment after you defeated them, Alexis gave you this insane look, grabbed onto the kind of like chain, pulled on it, and said, now we're entering into level 3. You'd been going through these different stages of the levels. You've gone through like the first level, which you still were in London. The second level, where everything outside and around you turned to a greyish sort of space-like exterior. And then this one, and the third level is called everything outside has gone into pitch darkness, and in the carriage as well. I think that's most of our points. Oh, he did mention as well that this train is not on Earth. He mentioned that you guys are no longer on your planet and you're in some other place. He definitely seems insane, but looking outside, it's not as if many of the things that are going on can be easily explained. So yeah, that's what we're going to be picking up today. Before we dive into the game, I'll remind you guys of the ways you can interact with the show. The first which being follow. First I'm going to hit for 10 followers today. Viewer decision where you guys get to decide a creepy clue or an enemy that gets thrown at these guys. Or a nice thing if you're feeling lucky. Also here is the tweet. 20 retweets will have a viewer decision and 2 new subscribers or patrons on Patreon. And we'll get going with another VD. Oh, you can donate to affect the game as well, so check out down below for all that stuff. But let's dive back onto the Nightmare train. So we're not yet on the Orient Express, but we're on the 7:20 to Liverpool, according...
We're on the 9:15 to Liverpool.
Oh, that's right, you were going for the 7:20, that's true, that's
Yeah,
correct.
we were.
Yes, we'll call this adventure the 9:15 horror on the 9:15 to Liverpool. So you're on this. You're on a second carriage. It's pretty small. You are with Alexis, who is this kind of man from the 1890s. He's convinced, who's been scratching all of these bizarre things into the top of the wall to try and keep track of time. He's had these bones of people discarded where he's been eating people. There are the 9 or so bodies of the dead, forgotten passengers who you guys killed last episode. And Henry Stanley is sitting down, kind of wiping his brow and very, very nervous about everything that's going on. As he formed the ritual, Alexis kind of pulled a lever, gave you this insane look, and he says, "We're going to level 3." And everything goes pitch black, and you guys can't see anything around you currently. Other than, maybe like a foot or so in front of you, it's dead black in here. And looking out where you know that the window should be, based on where you guys are standing in the carriage, you can't see any lights out there anymore. It's as if the shutters have been drawn across the whole carriage. And, Pat, you heard some moving because you were quite near to Alexis. You're fairly sure he's no longer in this carriage anymore, as you heard the door opening and you hear it close.
Okay. First thing I do is I reach around and reach in Harvey's general direction, and because I know that he's still suffering from the fact that he, deaf and he's got his own vision problems. So I just kind of yell out as loud as I can, "I'm here! Sound off! Sound off!" And
Who the hell turned the bloody lights off?
Okay, so as soon as I'm just reaching for Harvey to try to kind of, give him an orientation mark.
Harvey's going to remain silent, and essentially he's going to be sitting on the floor at the moment. And that's pretty much all he's going to do at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, his vision is beginning to return to him. His hearing is definitely coming back as well.
Yeah.
The adrenaline's just wearing off, and it's probably like exhaustion and
essentially he's like sat on the floor, just completely out of it. His hands literally going like that through all the adrenaline, slowly wearing off. So he's kind of like in his own zone at the moment. He's kind of out there at the moment.
Okay. So Herb kind of sounds off. Nancy is obviously nearby, and you guys can probably make out as your eyes adjust to the darkness that Harvey's just sort of sat down on the floor next to one of the bodies, I might add.
Yeah.
Harvey, don't eat that! Don't take after that freaky conductor dude. I've got some snacks in my purse.
Can I get out my lighter and light it up? Not necessarily looking for anything else to I'd like to light it, and can I try to drag Harvey to his feet?
Yeah, sure. You can kind of like pick him up. Does Harvey resist?
No. Essentially, as soon as he kind of feels something like of somewhat force, it kind of snaps him out of it, and he kind of takes a few moments to catch his bearings, and then he stands up and nods to Herb.
Herb takes him, and Pat grabs him, not hard, but takes him by the back of the collar, and kind of moves his head up to the ceiling. And he says, "You see all them up there? See all them ticks? That guy's shithouse crazy. He's been ticking like that for God knows how long. We all got ticks. You just added 3 more, that's all. Takes a hell of a lot more to get where he's at.
Yeah, I'd say there's a good few hundred up there.
Henry Stanley is still kind of seated. Are you out there? What's going on?
Well, we're not eating each other, so that's a good sign.
Why is it so dark? What did he mean? Level 3, what did he mean?
He's crazy, who knows?
Yeah, we don't know about that.
But this whole situation is rather crazy. He might be the only sane one in the situation here.
Oh, I hope not. He's crazy, and the situation's even crazy. I don't know who's crazy, or the situation, or the conductor.
Well, he knows more about what's going on than anyone else here, so perhaps we should find out where he's going.
Yeah, after this couple of minutes conversation in utter darkness, you see that the lights don't come on in a carriage, but there is light once again outside, and you see countryside. You see the English countryside opening up before you, and it just kind of illuminates the room. Just comes up as if the sun has just risen, and you can see outside that you're once again back home. You're on Earth. You're fairly sure.
Oh. See, we were just going through some type of weird tunnel or something. It's fine. Look outside. It's English countryside. Look, there's some sheep.
He kind of Henry Stanley pokes his head out the window to get a better look what's going on, and he goes very pale all of a sudden, and he says, oh dear.
Hey lad, what's wrong with you? You should probably have a sit down.
No, look.
Okay, we look at
I
one.
look.
Yeah. He kind of like points outside the window to where he's been looking, and a couple of maybe like a minute's journey away, based on how fast this thing is going, there is an old coal train chugging along directly on the same track towards you. Your train is going full speed, and the coal train is gigantic.
Shite.
I pick up a suitcase and attempt to throw it through a window.
So an open window or just a glass window?
Well, just glass window. I mean, just so we can, essentially just either that or you'll open the window. But I think at the moment, kind of just gonna smash it.
Yeah. Okay. So you can smash a window open. It cracks the glass up after several attempts at trying to break this thing. And you've got an open window before you hear and feel a huge gust of breeze enter in, which would confirm to you that you are actually back home, because previously when windows are open there was no wind whatsoever.
I look out and see, one, how many carriages to the engine? Do we know?
There's one carriage, and then there is the engine room, so kind of 2, I guess.
And we are going a hell of a quick speed, yeah?
Yeah, you're going full steam ahead.
Okay. Well, we've got 2 options here. We can, when you get to the engine, to stop the train before we hit that thing. We can go outside, or we can go through the carriages.
Aren't there people trying to eat us in the carriages?
Yes, that's true.
I don't vote for that.
Strong wind outside.
There's a strong wind. So you need to eat more, put more in your bones, and then a stiff breeze will knock you over.
Yeah, well, yes. So I suggest we make up our minds very quickly, as in go through the carriages or try and go out.
I'm fairly good with mechanical things if we wanted to go to the engine room, but you hired me, Harvey.
Well, yes, of course, yes.
So,
I mean, that was my idea, so that we
right.
get to the engine room, whether we go through the carriages or over the top.
Yeah, Pat moves towards the only way that the conductor could have gone is forward, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay,
Right.
I go to the forward door, check to see if it's open.
It's open.
Okay, I open it.
Alright, you see into the... there's another door to the next carriage, so there's like a 2-second, one step, basically, and then another door opens. You can see through the glass that there are several passengers within who all appear to be seated down and in this 1890s garb. They're all seated as if perfectly, well-behaved people.
I'm sure they are.
Uh-huh.
That's a whole lot of nope.
Okay, real quick, does the conductor's pistol, is it the same kind? It should be a 38, the same as mine.
Sure.
Okay, can I load that one up as well, since I have the appropriate ammunition?
Yeah, that would work.
Okay. I leave the 44 with Nancy. I leave the conductor's gun with Harvey, and I take my 38 and open up the door. I'm not entering. I'm opening up the door to the second carriage.
They don't appear to move or react to you as the door opens.
Is the conductor among them?
You don't think so, no. Having a quick glance around this carriage, and there are perhaps 15 people seated down here. None of them would appear to be Alexis. There's another door which leads into the engine room.
Okay, I take a shot right past one of their heads.
Okay. Yeah, there's a kind of loud bang from the room, and Harvey and Nancy pretty much get wincing from the sound, but the passengers don't appear to react.
I take a step in the carriage. Yeah.
Run it.
No reaction, but it would appear as though the coal carriage is getting closer, and you guys are most likely running out of time.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's bolt it.
Pat's going to try to go first and then stay in the middle and go last as everybody else goes past, including Henry Stanley. I'm going to try to rear guard it as much as possible here.
Okay, yeah. You step inside the carriage, and as you can get a closer look at them, you realize that they're not just standing still. These people are actually dead. They are...
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
They're dead.
They've been dead for a long time. They are skeletons, basically, and they're all kind of hunched over.
I prefer that to them trying to eat us.
Mm-hmm. They're all hunched over with their sort of, 1890s garb, which is covering a lot of them. But they've been here, these bodies look like they've been here for years and years.
Yeah.
All right.
The engine room.
So you guys bolt through, and you see the engine room door open before you. And as you kind of open it up, you see Alexis, and he jumps from the train out into the English countryside from the engine room door. Just flies out, and he's whipped behind you. You're in this huge engine room. It's just a steam locomotive, so you've got this huge hot engine to shovel, coal into. You've got a whole mechanics board of devices which you can pull and thrust, and ohmmeters and gauges and all sorts of things going on in this engine room here. You would probably need to have some working knowledge of this kind of engine or this kind of train. It's possible that you guys do.
I have mechanical
I know how to
skills.
drive a boat, you said.
I don't have vehicles, but I do have mechanical
train.
repair. So, that would have anything to help.
You could definitely roll something to see if you know how to use this.
Yeah, I'm going to roll mechanical.
Yeah, mechanical would be the roll for this one.
Just, wing it.
I rolled mechanical and I failed utterly.
Damn.
Oh, I passed!
Oh!
Wow.
Boom!
Wow.
Boom!
So
I'm not even going to do it in case I screw up.
So Harvey, you know exactly how this thing is going to work. In a flash of brilliance, or perhaps you read it somewhere, or he, for some reason he learned about this. He switches a bunch of the gauges, pulls several levers, and starts, I guess, shoveling coal out from the the engine. Will doesn't actually know how these things work, but the train is beginning to slow down. It's still going very fast. As you look out the window, you see that the coal train is also trying to slow. It's hitting the brakes basically. But the two of you are most likely still going to collide. It's probably not going to be a mortal collision, one would hope. It's going to be a very fine line, though.
Can I do an idea roll where I could try and calculate the best time to jump out with minimum amount of damage before it hits the blumping thing?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
If one train
Yeah.
leaves Liverpool and one train leaves
Yeah.
London,
Come on. Oxford
idea
University Education. Don't fail me now.
Sure, you can roll me an idea roll, see what is running through Harvey's mind. Also,
Yeah,
yes, if you guys haven't checked out Mechanica, this is basically what we're doing right now. Steampunk and horror thrown into one. Check out Mechanica there. It's a great book.
I pass. My idea is 60. I got
Okay.
30.
So
Sounds like
Harvey's,
a good...
Harvey's a clever guy. One way or another, this thing is going to collide. You're pretty sure. You know, judging just by your eye, you know, you're not an expert trained. You would assume that this is going to go boom. Hopefully, these things won't explode. However, this thing is slowing down. It was most likely possible to survive a jump at this speed as it gets closer. If you were to, just before it collides, jump off, rather than jumping off when it's full speed, if that makes sense.
Okay, time to jump. Let's go. Let's go. Everyone off.
All right.
All right.
Tug and roll. Tug and roll.
Yeah.
First.
So, let's see. Each of you can roll me a dex to jump off here.
By the way, Henry's coming off with us, isn't he?
Henry is following you. He
Right,
is
Henry,
he
you
is
go.
panicking. He is panicking. No! I can't jump. I can't jump. It's too fast. It's too fast.
It's not too fast. Harvey said it's fine. Here, go.
You're pushing. Yeah. Ah!
Tuck it, roll, roll, lad, roll.
He just like flies off and he's disappearing off in somewhere into the English countryside as the
He'll
train
be
whips
fine.
past.
He'll be fine.
Oh, cool.
what do you need from us?
A dex, so one of your core abilities.
Oh, good. Whew.
Oh.
That's a pretty good success.
Oh shit!
So who succeeded?
Me?
And me.
All right. So
Can I luck that?
yeah, you can luck that for sure.
Yeah. It only takes me 5, so I just take 5
Yeah.
off my
Yeah,
luck, right?
probably worth doing because tumbling out of this thing is definitely going to hurt.
Oh.
Don't want broken bones or just like...
Yeah. Yeah, you guys like tumble out of the carriage. Pat lands in a bush of nettles. You know, like I don't know, do you guys have nettles? I guess you do. Like stinging plants, basically. Yeah. And you just kind of like all stung all over, but okay. Harvey and Nancy just land in bushes, roll several times, and end up just stopping due to like the bush basically catching you. You guys are out in the English countryside, so you know it's basically just fields out here right now that you guys are going past, and you're in a kind of like bramble patch just before the actual field begins.
So a sheep doesn't break my fall.
Afraid not. No, we're not in Wales. But and yeah, you see the terrains. You kind of look up in horror as it's one of those things where you're just watching. You know, it's like watching a car crash. It's watching these two trains just about to collide into one another, and the huge kind of coal locomotive is just. And your train is slowing, screeching to a stop, but they still collide with a smack. And there's this huge wrenching of iron and steel as both trains are kind of wrenched together and the iron twists, throws itself off the tracks, and they collide. Both of them are going, and actually you guys aren't far enough away to necessarily avoid the coal train, which is still going. The momentum of it is still pushing it forwards, and it's kind of wrested it off the tracks and heading towards you. Sydney's locked outside. I've got to be right back. What are you guys doing? Give me 2 seconds.
You leave us here.
He was hanging with a giant coal train coming forward.
Oh, by the way, you guys jumped, but it's not cool because you know it's still going. Hope you like getting crushed.
I know, right? Oh, you know what? This is a good time to get some more water.
Yeah.
I'm back. So what are you guys doing?
Well, you know, Red died. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Where's Henry?
Henry he actually jumped off before you guys, so he's probably about 50 feet away at this point. Yeah, quite jumped.
I told him to duck and roll. Duck and roll.
Yeah, you see him kind of like getting out of the bramble patch, and he just starts running away.
Crazy life.
Okay,
I
I'm
did
gonna
my
follow
civic
close to
duty.
him because if it looks like he's gonna get taken out, I need to do something to save him and whatever. So
Okay, yeah. So yeah, he's kind of running away from it, but he's kind of running in the path of it still, and most likely this thing's going to catch up at some point. He's not running, across away into the field.
Serpentine.
Yeah. So he's just going for it. He's not in very good shape. He's most likely going to get crushed by this thing in the next few seconds here.
Okay, well, I go and grab him and head, parallel, or perpendicular, trying to get away from this massive bit of metal that's coming our way.
Yeah. Okay. So you can grab him up and just kind of like pull him to one side, and Pat just kind of manages to grab his hand and pull him to a side just as this huge coal locomotive is about to just finish its journey off the rails, basically, and comes to a shuddering stop. And you pull him out from before he's swept under the wheels, and Harvey and Nancy are also managed to avoid the huge piece of steel and iron coming towards you guys, and both of the trains have stopped, and you're in the wake of this gigantic collision, basically, out somewhere in the English countryside with smoke billowing from both engines at this point. The engine room of the coal locomotive, there are several engineers, and they jump out, and several of them seem to be in shock, stunned. They haven't seen you yet, but workers were like covered in coal and ash at this point, and they're three of them, and they are just jumping out of the carriage, the engine room, and trying to get a grip on exactly what's happened. There's clearly going to be some police involved in this. Harvey, Pat, and Nancy, what do you guys want to do? You've got Henry with you. The engineers haven't yet seen you, so it's possible to not be seen if you wanted to continue, like not knowing anyone that you were here, or if you need help or you want to help these guys, then that's a possibility as well.
They don't look hurt, do they? There's nobody that's injured, right?
They don't look physically injured, no. They seem kind of, shocked. Most likely a couple of broken bones here and there, but no one's died.
So to get you right, when Pat grabbed Henry and we got down on the side, the whole train basically came to a stop, basically right in front of us?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well, Pat wants to lean forward and, touch the side of the locomotive and look over at Henry and go, "Hey, you like trains, don't you? That's a real beaut." I'm going to get him up. I'm going to get him up and try to start just kind of casually leaving, because Henry's so nuts. He's going to draw too much attention.
Yeah. He's totally in shock, not speaking barely, you just kind of carry him away. And Harvey and Nancy, you guys are, far enough away somewhere in a bush from these engineers who are beginning to get a grip of themselves, and they're running back to your, quote unquote nightmare train, the Liverpool train, and screaming to see if there are any.
They're gonna see the skeleton.
Yeah, they're screaming to see what the hell happened, basically, and there's a whole ruckus going on right there at the moment.
They're also going to find a carriage full of dead people.
Yeah, they are.
That is also a discovery which they are shortly to make, and you guys are the only people alive.
I am not getting back
got
on
blood
that
all
train.
over me.
I'll hitchhike across this countryside if we need to, but I am not getting back on that train.
Well, I got some good news and bad news. The Orient Express is a train.
Yeah, I said that train. I'm looking forward to the express. Got an open bar.
As we're walking away, Pat takes off his jacket and puts it over Harvey, because from last time's description, he's basically head to toe blood now, isn't he?
Mainly on my hands.
Yeah,
it's all.
Yeah, it's probably all up.
pretty well bloodied.
He covers him up, and then we can.
Let's get out of here.
Okay. So, there's the shouting beginning from the engineers on a carriage, and kind of screams of horror as they realize what's inside the carriages, and that the people are not just killed by the collision, they've actually been dead for a long time. The group of you head off into the countryside, basically hitchhiking out and and across this huge set of fields, you see there's a farmhouse not far from here, a couple of fields away, and that's the closest point of contact if you wanted to go in there, or you could keep going until you find some kind of main road.
Farmhouse seems okay to me. Yeah,
we say that, and I know there's gonna be some super
Yes, Harvey's saying that. Dude. I'm saying, oh dear God, we're going to die.
Well, it's getting later, you know.
Nancy's like, oh, I grew up on a farm. I'm totally down for a farmhouse.
Yes, I'm sure they might have a telephone, and if not, at least a change of clothes or a direction on where we
cleaned up, get some food.
Well, just in case this farmhouse kills us, I've got a couple questions for Henry. Can I ask those while we're walking?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. All right. It's almost like I had a week to think about these.
Imagine that.
Right. I want to ask him about when he went to buy the train that essentially blew up and did whatever it did, made him spontaneously combust and show up in this train. He bought it from Mehmet Makriat, correct?
That's correct, yeah. He, yes, he has a little toy shop. I can't say I remember much about it now. It was just a purchase on a whim, you know?
You didn't hear about him before? Nobody told you, hey, visit Makriat. He's got great toys. You didn't hear any of that?
I can't remember. I don't think so. I can't say it's been on my mind recently. It's just been... Oh, that train. I'm so glad we're off that train.
The toy that you bought, was it that train?
Yes, a model of the train, yes.
When you bought it, did you take it with you, or did you have it delivered?
I bought it with me. I bought it in the store, and I took it home with me.
Okay. Did you have any more contact with Makriat after that?
I don't think I even spoke with him. There was another man, big Turkish chap, who sold me the toy. I don't think that was him. He didn't seem like very much of a businessman, you know.
He was big, like
yeah.
Abnormally tall, or over 6 feet, or
over 6 feet, I'd say. Yes, strong looking. Maybe he was the security on the place. I imagine they get children stealing things all the time.
Right, you need a 6 foot tall security guard for kids. Anyway, when this gentleman, did he have shaved head, gray hair, long hair? Had any distinctive features?
Oh, I can't say I remember too well. I believe he had a mustache, big Turkish mustache, you know, slick back hair, I think, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. This train that you bought the model of and that we currently crashed, what happened to it originally? Did it disappear? Was it retired?
Yes, you're correct. It had been retired for some time. It was for Mr. J. Temple Thurston, who, God, I can't get my brain in order. Yeah, it had been retired, and this model was the newest one. I heard about it, that they would remade it, recreated it, and I bought the model when I heard that in the paper. As an enthusiast.
Absolutely. Understood. Yeah, that's all I got for you right now, Stanley. One other thing I wanted to ask you is, do you know about a gentleman by the name of, let me see here, somebody else blew up a couple years ago. J. Temple Thurston. What do you know? I knew that name sounded a bit familiar.
Well, the creator of this locomotive,
Yeah, you know he also burst into flame like they said you did?
Well, I didn't.
No, you didn't, but...
I'm more interested in the trains than the creators of them. I can't say I really heard much about that.
What do you do, Henry? What's your job?
I'm a banker.
Banker? Okay. just a train enthusiast as a hobby, right?
Correct. Yes. I must return to London. My job. They'll be wondering where I am.
I'm sure they will. All right. Thanks, Henry. Glad you're alive.
So, you see this farmhouse before you. It's a small little cottage deal, really, and there's a barn outside as well. There's signs of animals outside. They've got horses, and there are several cows and kind of cattle grazing in the field that you walk past. And it's getting dark as you guys enter, so it's probably about 8 p.m. But you know, it's summertime, so it gets dark pretty early. Sorry, it's winter time, so it's dark pretty early. Yeah, way around. And so it's beginning to get a bit cold out here. You know, there's not much protection out on the fields from like the wind. And there are lights on inside in the farmhouse.
I go up to the front door and knock it.
All right. A couple of seconds later, there's a shotgun in your face, and this older-looking guy who's wearing these big welly boots and this full-on kind of farmer's outfit, I suppose. He actually has a piece of straw in his mouth, which he is biting, and it looks like dinner has been served on the table behind him. And yeah, he kind of just points his shotgun. What do you want?
Terribly sorry. Sorry to disturb you, sir, but we're in a bit of a pickle, you see. We seem to have gotten lost. I was wondering if you could assist us.
City folk?
Yes, from London.
Not all of us are quite city folk, but he certainly is.
Yes, I am.
Bit of a dandy.
Yeah, he says.
Me neither.
Well, you're a long way away. Long way away from London now, laddie.
Where are we?
He says, by the coast. Not far from Dover.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's not as far. I thought we were going to be up north somewhere.
Yeah, you definitely are not near Dover, you know, by your estimation.
Yeah. I'm like, so we're near the coast, you say? In which direction?
He kind of shrugs and says, just west of it, on the east coast.
Right, okay.
He's definitely confused, as this guy.
Yes.
We're very lost.
Yes,
very,
I was wondering.
very lost.
You wouldn't happen to have a telephone or something that we can use to call for a car or something like that?
He shakes his head. No telephones.
Would you happen to have a car?
He kind of like, he laughs. He puts down the shotgun and kind of sets it up. No shotguns here. No shotguns. No cars here.
Right. Do you? Is there any other farm nearby or a small village nearby that we can potentially walk to? Or...
He says, well, it depends where you wanted to go.
Back to London.
He says, if you walk south for long enough, you'll probably come across a town or village. Probably have a car.
What, we just follow this road, do we, south?
He nods.
How
Right.
long of a walk do you think it'd be?
Yes.
He shrugs. As long as it takes you.
It's just getting a bit dark out. So,
Does this guy have any horses?
He does.
Could we rent a couple of your horses?
He gives you a bit of a suspicious look. He says, I don't know you. Might never get them back. They're my property.
Oh, what if we buy the horses?
He raises his eyebrows. Buy? I don't know if you can afford that. He kind of looks at the state that you're in.
Yeah, I'm
And,
not looking particularly
Yeah, he
good.
looks at the bloodied hands, and he realizing that, he kind of puts another hand on his shotgun. He says, I don't know who you are. Or why you got blood on your hands.
He's just very injured, you see. We had
sorry.
there's a lot of
Going through all
blood.
those nettles. It was.
Exactly.
I fell into a nettle bush and it cut
More
all my
than
hands.
one. There was a lot of them. I laughed a lot.
Yes. I go into my wallet. I do have my wallet, right?
Yeah, you have your wallet on you.
I have not let go of that case of money. That is like
Okay, so
left hand. Right.
how would £5 be for 3 horses, or 2? Actually, 2 horses.
You can get with 2.
How much did a horse cost?
£5 is still quite a lot, I think, but I don't know if it's enough for
Yeah.
horses.
We don't know currency rates.
I
for
don't
place for
know.
now.
It's a lot of money, £5, but
So, yeah, whenever glue. He says 10.
10. I don't even know if I have £10 in my. That's a lot.
Don't worry, Harvey.
to
I've got
carry.
it. Let me just rummage through my things, and gonna go where you can't see me and open the suitcase and I pull out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys have got money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. There you go. There you are. £10 for 2 horses.
He nods. He takes the money. He's given Nancy a suspicious look as she's gone into her suitcase and retrieved a whole lot of money. And
I keep it with me, with small clothes. That way, fellas don't rummage around through it.
You know, they said there's a train crashed not far from here. Maybe it was robbed.
He knows about the train crash.
This
But he doesn't
isn't
have
the
a
Wild
phone.
West.
No, it ain't.
See, you would know.
Yeah, he looks Pat up and down, and he says, "So this fella's got guns on him. You got a lot of money, and there's blood on your hands. Now, if you don't want me to say anything, then that's gonna cost."
Fine, say something. I don't care as long as we have the horses.
Let me ask you a question, buddy. If you're saying what I think you're saying, and you're saying that maybe somebody robbed that train and I got a bunch of guns on me, and you're saying I'm going to hear you correctly, you're trying to shake us down for more money. Just to make sure the universe knows that.
He's like, I'm gonna shoot him.
Yeah, he kind of grits his teeth, and you hear them kind of like grinding. He says, "Fine, take the horses."
No, we're paying for them.
Yeah, he's taking the money. I mean,
So they're in the field or in the barn, or I mean, we have saddles, yes?
he nods and says, "I'll help you saddle them."
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Like,
All right.
Can Pat check and make sure he's not giving us like 2 death nags or something?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Back to croak.
Yeah, you probably
Nancy
sold a
wants to
horse on
look
the way
too.
in. Yeah, you guys sold a horse on the way in. They're in a stable. He lets you in, and he begins to tackle them and saddle them. And you see the horses are in very good conditions. And
what are their names?
he shrugs. Name them whatever you want. They're yours.
This one's Sherlock, and this one's Holmes.
Should have saw that coming.
He shrugs and puts the shotgun over his shoulder and says, "Just keep going south by that road and look out for strangers on the road."
Strangers.
You got stranger danger problems up here.
Hey,
What is this, Yorkshire? I mean,
out of curiosity, fella, you real attached to that shotgun, or did you think about selling that to us?
He says, "This was my granddad's, and his dad's before him. I'm keeping it.
Okay.
But
I
a
thought maybe
word
your
to the
granddad could have been a prick or something. I don't know.
True. He says, "A word to the wise. You're not far from Dover. Get a boat and get out of here. The roads aren't safe. Hell, if I think I could make it with my old leg, then I'd go too."
well,
Get your shit and come with us. Who cares? We'll get you there.
He thinks about it for a second, then shakes his head.
Oh,
I'm
come
good.
on. My dad's a farmer. I'd feel bad if it's unsafe here leaving you.
No, it's safe here. It's just where you're going.
What's wrong with where we're going?
He shrugs again. It seems to be his kind of customary way of dealing with people, and
Come on
says, it's just there are all kinds of folks on the road that you don't want to get involved with.
Right. Okay. Well, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you for helping us. We'll get on our way immediately.
Right, well, stay safe. Hope none of them fellows come here to bother you.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's gonna let you go.
Cool.
Alright.
Well, I have limited horse riding. I'm not very good. Pat, I assume you're a demon on one of these things.
I'm above average.
I grew up on a farm. I have a pet sheep named Watson back home.
Okay, so Linda, you. So Nancy, you can handle a horse quite well, yes?
Probably. I'm assuming so.
Oh, in that case, if I partner up with you, Pat, would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So you guys jump on Sherlock and Holmes.
I am Sherlock.
All right. The two horses. They're by no means like the finest stallions you've ever seen, but they are not, by any means like dying old nags or anything like that. They've got some life left in their legs yet. And you head off into the night, heading through the countryside. There is this long road leading down to the south, which would take you to London, and then before that most likely Dover, as you said, which of course the only way to get to the Orient Express is to take a ferry from Dover to Paris, to Calais, and then from there get to Paris. So it's possible that you want to go back to London and get your affairs in order first, or you could just stop off at Dover and just get the hell out of the country if you feel like that's a better idea. You've got plenty of time to discuss that during your nighttime journey. So what's the plan for you guys?
Well, personally, considering we lost literally all our luggage,
Except for this suitcase full of money.
obviously, I think head back to London, do it properly, get a suitcase full of important things that we need, and then just take the next train, or I'll drive us. I'll get a driver to take us to Dover instead of taking the train there.
They're gonna be watching your house, buddy.
So,
This is the best thing that could happen to us. They have no clue where we are right now.
That's true.
If Macriat's following us, there ain't no way he followed a ghost train that crashed into a real train, and then we walked away from it and got horses and rode south. I say we cuts chase. You got plenty of money. We got hells of money. You can buy new clothes and ascots, whatever the hell else you wear, and then we can get where we're going. Let's use it to our advantage.
That's true. We could have been sabotaged by them Turkish folk.
that is well, okay, yes, I
We
can
can
see
get clothes anywhere, Harvey. I mean, I know you prefer your fancy schmancy shops in London, but we can go shop other places.
Well, we're going to Paris, aren't we? So there's plenty of fancy shops there. I mean,
I've never been. I'm so excited.
Oh, Nancy, the shops there. Oh, you'll be there for many a month and still find something new.
Well, I don't think we'll be there for that long, but that sounds good.
No, we'll have a weekend of shopping. I'm sure.
All right, that sounds great.
I
Maybe we
can't
can
wait.
connect up with your, I can elbow him repeatedly.
Maybe not this visit.
All right. It's true. It's
Due
a bit
to,
dangerous. Yeah.
Yes.
Aye.
So a light rain begins to drizzle down on you guys as you remember that you are indeed firmly within England. And the track continues southwards for some time. You see that there is a village or town called Bexley, which is coming up. And it also the village, the sign on the road also points to further along being Dover. So you are very close to both. You look out into the the distance, I guess, and you're up on a hill on this field, and your horses and you see that there is this little village before you, a small assembly of a couple of cottages, and there aren't any lights on in the village other than a couple of street lights which are illuminating the darkness, and the rain is beginning to obscure as well, but you can smell the fresh sea air, and you can tell that you are definitely quite near the coast right now, and Dover definitely can't be far from it, more than a mile maybe.
Is there a pub? It's a village. It's an English village.
Yeah,
There's got to be.
yeah, of course there's a pub. It's pretty free.
Pub!
I say we stop for the night in the pub and go there in the morning.
You're thinking like a true Scotsman there, Harvey. I agree.
Well,
Lots of
I'd rather
whiskey.
just have
Lots
a
of
nice-
whiskey. Let's
I
go.
would rather wash up.
Just go, and I like start just dragging him. Like,
I hate to say this, but if we're going inside somewhere that's public, somebody should be the spokesperson, and the rest of us should kind of lay low. If there's rooms to be got, one person gets them, and then kind of, I don't know, hanging out in the pub.
all right. Well, I'm pretty familiar with pubs. If you want me to do the talking.
I'm sure it's your favorite terrain, but
Yes, Nancy, you do all the talking. You get us. Hopefully, try and get us a room and where I can wash up and everything,
All right. That sounds great. Let's
and
go.
a pint.
Yeah, of course. Well, more than one, Harvey.
Alright, so you head into the little village of Bexley, and as it's raining around you, you see that the pub is the King's Arms, probably a million pubs by this name in England, and it looks like it's not open for business because it's so, it's getting so late, so most likely they close at around midnight, but there are still lights on inside, although there's a closed sign up.
Yeah.
All right. I've handled this before. And she just kind of pops her knuckles. All right. Knock, knock, knock. Oi, we'd like to buy several pints and, ask about rooms for the night.
You hear a shuffling from within, and a minute or so later, you hear, go out, Doris. You're drunk. Just go home, okay?
Who's this Doris lady you're talking about? My name's Nancy.
Oh, and a little face appears in the window, kind of looks at you. You see, a woman of about 30 years old, looking at you with a kind of furrowed brow, and then she opens up the door to the pub, the King's Arms. She's a little waspish looking. She's got kind of sleeves rolled up, like she's probably just been cleaning and tidying the place down for the night. And she says, "Rooms for the night," you said.
We got a bit lost up here. Had a few accidents. He's not used to horse riding. Got a bit bloodied. We were just wondering if you could give us any information on the rooms for the night. Maybe a good pint or two to relax.
Yes, of course.
Thank you kindly.
Where did you guys come from, if I might ask? We don't get too many visitors around here. We don't really have a stable. You have to tackle them outside. Is that okay?
Oh, that's perfectly fine. Sherlock and Holmes would be great. Thank you, Harvey. Yes, we came from. See, we were headed south, right?
Yes.
We came from up north a bit.
Right. Okay. Well, excellent. Come inside. It's wet outside. You must have heard the news about the. Oh, maybe you haven't even been traveling the trains. The collision not far from here.
There is a train collision. That's crazy. That doesn't happen every day now, does it?
No, not at all. No, it's a terrible affair, really. The worst thing is when she kind of lets you inside to our little tavern.
Thank you.
The worst thing is they found dead passengers on board.
Oh, it's terrible.
Well, yes. So I probably found a newspaper around here somewhere for you. Oh, but left it upstairs.
I'd love to read the news.
Yes, but they found, and she's kind of getting drinks. Anyone?
Of course, I'd like a whiskey and one for my friends each too.
Of course. She goes and gets you pours of whiskey, and she says, "Well, they found all these dead passengers on board. They were already dead. It was like a ghost train."
That is awful queer, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it really is, because some of them apparently they've been dead there for a long time, and it's it's a mystery. All of the papers are going wild about
Was
it.
this in the London Times, or is it that, the other one? The one that's...
Oh no, the Times are all over it. The Scoop, it's really is everywhere. And there were people from London that were dead. Important people from London who were found dead on the train as well. It really is quite
Like who?
let me find. Let me go grab a paper. real
I'd
quick.
love to read the paper. This is big news.
Yeah, she grabs runs upstairs and grabs the paper, and
She's gone. I'm like, I hope our names aren't on there. Like,
Well, we weren't meant to be on the train.
I know, but you
we're
never.
okay.
Things have been weird here lately. All right.
You've
she
got a
comes
point.
she comes
I'll
back
check the
down, and she's like, yes, Mr. Harvey Hiddleston was found dead on the train
She just
as well.
looks over at Harvey.
And they can't explain it because apparently this Mr. Hiddleston was well and alive a few days ago, but his body is that of a skeleton, but they're sure it's him. Fascinating, isn't it?
Absolutely crazy. Were there any other, names of people they were able to identify? I hate for it to be someone I know.
They found some others on there. I don't think they've identified all of them yet. Several male and female passengers.
Of course.
Apparently one of them had guns on them. So the story goes that this person might have shot the others, maybe, and and then the train just stayed coasting around England without anyone getting on or off for years.
Crazy. That is absurd. So I wonder they didn't collide with anything sooner if that's the case.
I know. Well, you want rooms for the night, yeah?
Aye, please.
Great. Well, a separate room each, or are you bunking together? I have plenty of rooms.
Separate rooms would be great, I think.
Of course. Well, if you need any help of anything, we're not far from Dover, and London's a bit of a trek from here, but I'm sure your horses could take you there.
Aye.
Yeah. Well, sorry it's late. I'm tired.
Completely understandable. Sorry to intrude on you so late in the
I
evening.
forgot to introduce myself, Lucy.
Lucy, pleasure to meet you. My name's Nancy. This is my brother Harvey.
She, goes to shake.
Sharp.
Someone from the city. Oh, we don't see too many of you, Mr. Harvey.
We didn't grow up together.
No. I went away to boarding school and
Right.
had, for a business education, whereas my lovely sister Nancy, she stayed on the farm.
Aye.
Right. Well, and she looks up. No one introduces. She's like, why are you explaining all of this deep backstory about why we don't sound similar?
She's like, well, if they think he's dead, I probably shouldn't use his name.
We're
This is
panicking,
Harvey
basically.
McDrew.
Right. And just for the guest register, what is the
Sorry.
gentleman's name?
Abe.
Hey, okay, fantastic. The rooms are upstairs. You should find them on your left. The first three on the left. Here are the keys. She hands them over, and you guys can get a night's sleep. So the night passes by fairly uneventfully, but we do have 20 retweets, which means we do have a time for review of decisions. So, underneath this line here in the chat, my friends, you guys are going to give me some ideas as to a vision or nightmare that one of our players, or all of our players, will have underneath that line there in chat. So, and keep it on theme for Call of Cthulhu. So, the group of you kind of wake up the next morning, and Lucy is busy downstairs getting breakfast and setting up and everything. She tells you that you're not far from Dover, and you can go there, and you're a bit away from London, so you can still trek back there if you wanted. So, what is the plan?
I think we decided to go straight to Dover, right?
Straight to
Yeah,
Dover.
especially if they think you're dead, we might not want to be going back to,
Oh, my poor
London.
father and mother and sister. We must. Oh dear.
They must have found one of their skeletons wearing an ascot. It's a
Yes.
dead giveaway. Has to be Harvey Hiddleston.
Yes, because I'm the only one who ever wears one of those.
Right, but my question is, did they find somebody and identify it positively as you, or did they find a bunch of bodies and they found your shit? Like,
It's quite possibly they did that. However, if the Turkish people think that I'm dead, that could be to our
It
advantage.
could be indeed. So I
oh,
was
absolutely.
thinking-
Yeah, and hopefully, no offense to either of you, that they think you're dead too. So we could essentially move around quite freely.
we should probably come up with better names. I guess I can't go. I mean, you're Abe, and I guess you're my brother now. But I should come up with a
Wait,
new name.
I gotta stick with Abe. That was just.
Oh,
a
you
spur of
can
the moment,
change it to
right?
be anything.
You could change it to be, anything you like. Aye.
Should I try my Scottish accent?
Oh, that could be fun. I'd love to see that.
Okay, 1 second. Hello there, how are you doing?
Oh, you've been paying attention. This is great.
Yes. I've been trying to pick up a few things.
So, Lucy comes over for breakfast and she says, I didn't mean to eavesdrop or overhear anything, but I couldn't help but noticing you mentioned something about a Turkish gentleman. That just seemed odd to me because a gentleman came late last night, knocked on the door. I couldn't see much of him. It was raining very heavily, and I think he had a big hat on. But he was asking if I had seen anyone around here particularly interested in free people. I of course didn't tell him anything, but it seemed like something you might want to know.
I thank you. I've had a bit of a stalker lately. I was trying to give him the slip.
Right. Well, I don't know anything about that, but he was very, very tall, and he didn't seem very friendly.
But I appreciate you not telling them anything.
Did he have a big mustache? Was his hair slicked back?
I can't say I could tell he was wearing an overall and a hat, but it could have had a mustache. Yes.
Great. Was he selling toys? Never mind.
Anyway, either way, he made me feel quite uncomfortable. If you don't mind just staying the one night.
Of course, we're planning to leave after breakfast, I think.
If do me a favor, if anybody of that, if he comes back looking for us, just tell him we'll be waiting for him up north.
Okay, I'll tell him.
Yes, Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle.
Okay.
Whatever the hell that is.
It's up north.
Right.
Yeah,
Sure.
of course. I'm so great with geography.
She kind of smiles and gets back to her job. So, you guys are heading this morning. You're heading straight to Dover.
Aye.
All right.
Will, I wanted to do a first aid roll now that we have some
Yeah.
time on Will's eyes to see if Will's eyes, Jesus, on Harvey's eyes to see if I could help him out because he should be at 3 HP now, and I could take that down to 2. if I
Yeah.
get it right.
Sounds...
There we go.
Nice.
There you go. Nice. Fantastic. So yeah, you kind of apply some first aid to the eyes, and Harvey's still a bit red and bloodshot, but feeling much better than they were yesterday. So you guys head to Dover. It is a pretty bustling city, town, and it's got this kind of huge dock area where ships are coming and going at all times. Imagining that's where you guys are headed to try and charter a ferry over to Calais. As you guys, come to the dock districts, and there are plenty of people out here, eating their fish and chips and ice creams. It's quite a nice day out today. There are several ships, ferries which appear to be headed for Calais, which can be bought for, a nominal fee for the amount of money that you guys have. You'd have to go to like the dockmaster, I guess, like harbour master building to book tickets.
Okay, first off, is there any way to... I mean, I'm not very familiar with, especially 1920s England, but would there be a place to buy firearms?
No.
No. the most likely place to have a firearm is if you are a veteran.
That's what I was thinking, like a surplus shop. Where they would
Yeah,
have...
and you'd keep them, and you'd have them most likely left over from the war. It's I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility. It's probably unlikely in a place like Dover to find guns.
What were very popular in that time were pawnbrokers. Very popular. Working class.
Probably legally. I'm guessing that it was still legal.
Yeah, I think firearms are still legal.
Okay, yeah. But it's more than possible that you could find a guy who would, on the sly sell you a kind of firearm or something,
My suggestion was to take the horses and trade them for a revolver or two, so everybody could be armed, as opposed to, it's like hot potato whenever we have a fight.
Right,
handing out guns and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll say you can find a pawnbroker, perhaps in like the dodgier side of town. You can ask around and ask a couple of people who look like they might know a guy. So you enter into this little pawnbroker shop, and there's a guy in here. Gives you the up and down. It's kind of a dodgy area of town, so you're suspect for being someone who might nick something from this guy. He's in his 40s, quite thick set, most likely a veteran like yourself, and hands on hips says, "What can I do you for?"
Got a couple horses here to trade, looking to pick up a couple revolvers if you have them.
He
Order shotgun.
Or a shotgun.
Yeah, he says, "Have you got a license? You farmers or something, or?"
Oh, I am a farmer.
Yeah.
He's giving you this. He's got a lot of guns on him already.
I like guns.
Yeah, I'm guessing Pat doesn't open carry, right? Because he probably would get stopped by someone.
Yeah, he works with the State Department, so he's able to.
So he's allowed to. Yeah, okay. So he open carries. Yeah. The guy says, "I mean, this would probably have to be off the books by the look of you three of you."
Oh, I prefer that way. I don't like books, so.
Right. Well, yeah. Are you looking to get rid of these horses in a hurry?
Listen, we got 2 horses and tack outside. I see in here in this nice case you got 2 nice little 38s right here, or something.
Yeah.
Why don't you give us those? Couple shells. If you got a shotgun hidden around somewhere, most likely under the counter, pointed at me, we'll take that too. And you can have these 2 nice horses in the tack, which I'm sure is a very good bargain for you. Just enough to keep it off the books.
Great horses. This one's Sherlock and that one's Holmes.
You can name them whatever you want.
Yeah, he comes outside to look at the horses and says, "All right, yeah. Tell you what," and he goes into the back room, comes out with a double-barrel shotgun, along with 2 38s, and sets down 6 shells to each gun, and says, "Seems fair enough to me."
Sure does. Pleasure doing business with you.
He smiles, shakes hand, spits on his hand, shakes it, and he says, "All right, and you didn't get these from me."
Of course not.
You never saw us.
He winks. You take the guns. So Pat is taking the shotgun, I'm guessing, biggest gun, or is it Harvey's taking that, or Nancy?
The shotgun needs to go to Harvey, because I somehow know from his character sheet, it's posted on Encounter Roleplay, that he's better with rifles and shotguns, right?
Right, he's a gentleman. He'll likely have gone shooting before.
Yes, I am. However, I don't. I hope you brought a case with it, because I'm not going to be walking around with a shotgun.
He'll hand you a case, something
That's okay,
to
then.
protect
In that
your.
case, yeah.
You can't, there's no way in hell, even though it's 1923, that you're going on a ferry to France with a double barrel.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right?
I love the image.
And then, we'll split up the guns to everybody else, and
okay.
Yeah, I'll keep my 2 that I normally have.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, okay, so you can head to the Harbour Master's office. You head inside, and they're all kind of like in, say, like a naval uniform. Although not technically like Navy, you know. And there is a man who's just handing tickets to two excited passengers who are also going to head on the ferry to Calais. And the guy looks at you. Immediately you notice that he is Turkish. He does not have a moustache, and he is fairly short.
No profiling.
I know, we're so bad.
Oh, it's 1920s. Yeah. So
It's a bit odd to see someone Turkish but I suppose not possible. Is it?
You know, not out of this world. It's something that you would most likely note more than the modern person would note, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's a kind of thing where, you know, it's not like, oh wow, that Turkish guy is horrible, but it's the kind of thing that you might remark upon to your wife. You know, oh, the lovely Turkish gentleman handed me my tickets. You know, wasn't that quaint, dear?
How exotic.
Yeah, how exotic was that? How ethnic. Yes, indeed. Oh, haha. You know, whereas these days, you know, you wouldn't give it a second thought. His name badge reads Bertan, Birtan.
3 tickets, please.
Yeah, he says, which ferry are you looking to take? To Calais, yes?
To Calais, yes, please.
He smiles very amiably and you know, gives you the nominal amount of shillings which are required for the tickets, which I'm sure you can hand over immediately.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
And he says the ship sets sail in an hour, so make sure that you are on board at least 30 minutes before. So you have, he checks his little watch, 30 minutes.
Oh, right. Thank you very much.
On your tickets, it has your cabin number. When you go there, the sailors will direct you to your cabin.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Nancy wants to look at the cabin numbers and see if they're like consecutive numbers, if they're spread out throughout the ship.
They are together, yeah. It's most likely an extra fee to have them be right next to one another. So yeah, you can buy these tickets for the cabins that are going to be next to each other. And if you want to do anything else around Dover, you've got 30 minutes to do so around this town before you head off to open seas.
We should probably get you some clothes real quick, just some, you know, some not bloody ones.
Oh, yes, actually that'd probably be a good idea.
The gentleman politely didn't mention anything about your, you know, still quite bloodstainy clothes.
Yes. It's smart.
Were the other passengers that were booked before us? That was the Turkish gentleman and a woman.
No, the Turkish gentleman is the guy handing you the tickets. He's like kind of most likely part of the crew or just a guy who sells the tickets. Those guys were just, you know, English folk on holiday to France. Haha.
Ah, okay, great.
Get a new stock of wine in.
Exactly.
Okay, yes. Let's head to a store and see if I can get a change of clothes.
Yeah, absolutely. You can grab what kind of clothes you're looking for. Fancy,
the most upper class clothes that nice
that Dover has.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
you know.
Dover will have a tailor that can get something done for you real quick in 30 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be more. It'd be like a kind of like casual for that type. So kind of like a checkered. Kind of
you want to look posh, but you want to look posh and on holiday. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. That's the only way I know how to dress.
It's like the super uptight Hawaiian T-shirt that you've got. So yeah, okay, you've got like something which is would be way too posh for today, but for you, it's, you know, you're dressing down. You know.
This is me dressing down. This is my casual wear.
So why are you wearing a top hat and bow tie, Harvey? Anything else either Pat or Nancy want to do whilst in Dover?
Well, you first.
No, go right ahead.
No, you first.
I'm just going to keep a lookout for tall gentlemen of the Turkish.
Wow.
Turkish persuasion.
Profiling.
I'm going to be profiling all the shop, but it's fine. Nancy would like to, while Harvey's getting his fancy clothes, she's going to like try to get herself something fancy because she's, you know, not been fancy before. She's like, we're going to Paris.
You've got a ton of money, so
yeah.
You can...
There's not going to be anything left.
It's just spending it. Yeah, I mean, like, this is the amount of money which is like, you don't know how to spend this amount of money, you know?
Exactly. She's probably gonna be like, she's like, a whole pound? That is outrageous. Like, that's too much. She's just gonna be like, bartering with the fancy people, because she's not used to it.
Yeah. So, you know, they get you sorted of this, you know, proper pretty dress. Harvey's wearing this slightly dressed down but super posh outfit. Does Pat want to do anything, or is he all set?
Pat takes the shotgun and drills a hole through the butt and runs a string through it so somebody can wear it underneath a jacket.
Nice.
That's how I get posh.
You just pleased to see me, or yeah? So the group of you head on board the little ferry to Calais. Several decks on the ship, and you guys very quickly find your cabins. Most likely you've paid for like extra nice ones on the upper decks, and so you guys are living in luxury. They put little like swan pillows on your beds, and you know, there's like a chocolate under your pillow, that kind of deal. You know, way too fancy for someone like Pat, but for Harvey and Nancy, you know, this is living the life right now.
Now I take it Henry's gone, right? Did Henry? He's not getting.
Henry isn't gonna. Henry doesn't want to come with you whatsoever. So I guess we could have the moment before, you know, as you guys are going to leave off. And Henry says, I'm not going there. I'm going to stay here. Okay.
All right. Well,
have fun. Don't tell anyone where we went.
Yeah. Yes. I'm just going to go back to London, and that's all. That's all I'm going to do. Just go back to my life. Thank you very much.
Good luck with that.
Yep. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you for everything.
We sold the horses too, so he's gonna like walk back.
I'm sure you get a taxi.
You get a taxi or a train or something. Probably not a train.
The train. He's not going to touch the train ever again.
I hate trains.
Yeah, he kind of bids you farewell and heads off. So you guys, you know, enter into your cabin. It's not long before the ship is moving along very nicely. There's a like a lounging room full of gentlemen who are smoking and reading cigars, drinking whiskey. There's more of like a common area where there are people of all classes drinking and eating. There's actually like an open bar which is going on where people are buying drinks. There's also a theatre on board the ferry where a play is being performed tonight. Hamlet will be performed tonight in the theatre by an amateur production company from Dover and France. So it's like one of those, you know, one of the, like, the Dover and Calais are like linked towns, and so they do everything together. You know, the crew is half French, half English, a little bit Turkish apparently, and Pat's eyes anyone down that looks a little bit large or Turkish, it won't be long. You know, the ferry is actually fairly quick to get to Calais. I think it's only like a day, right, to get to Calais, maybe 2.
It's probably a day, if that.
Yeah, probably over a night. So you will sleep on the ferry, but it won't take you too long. So whilst you're on board, you guys get to kick back and relax a little bit.
Open bar. I heard.
Yeah, let me roll a quick D3 here. So if any of you guys are lost sanity, the relaxation on the ferry to Dover is going to restore you 2 sanity points.
Yes, that's all I've lost.
As you chill out and you're like, wow, you know, this is great. You know, living a life despite still being on, you know, high alert if you're someone like Pat.
Can I recover sanity points if I lost them in the war?
No, this is for the recent traumas, I guess. So yeah, if they were lost long ago, then that's a trauma which will need something else.
Many, many years of therapy.
Yeah.
Fine.
Fine. So
available.
So we're gonna, you know, jump ahead in time a little bit as the ferry over to Calais is pretty uneventful. You get to Calais and it's not far to get to Paris. And so, you know, maybe half a week later, we're gonna pick up the story finding you guys in the city of Paris, France. It's a beautiful day. You guys have just gotten out of your cab from where you've, you know, most likely driven. I'm guessing you didn't take a train to Paris. You know that the Orient will be leaving in 2 days' time. The Orient Express, which is you've got your tickets ready to go for that first class, I might add, and you have the fantastic city of Paris to explore. However, if you recall back to your notes, the professor did tell you that he believes that there might be a piece of the simulacrum within Paris, and clues pertaining to one of the 6 artifacts which will form the Sedefkar simulacrum that the cult are after. So it's time to do some exploring and some investigating around Paris, most likely.
Shopping.
And some shopping, of course. A good 50-50 divide of investigating and shopping is required.
We need croissants, Indian baguettes, and all that other fancy French stuff.
Paris is a cultural center of the world, of Europe this time. There are gigantic libraries. There are huge museums of all sorts of artifacts. The biggest library in the city is the Bibliothèque Nationale, which is essentially the Grand Library, the big library, and the National Library, very similar to like the one in England that we have, but at this time it's probably even bigger. So you guys have got plenty of places to explore and to look into the Sedefkar simulacrum. You haven't seen any signs of a large Turkish gentleman following you around, and you also know that Makurat is somehow involved in all of this. So you have a whole city ahead of you. You've got a whole life ahead of you. Where do you guys want to begin your investigations in Paris? Got 2 days.
I know that whenever we were going over whenever the professor was going over the stuff from Paris, he said that they believe that in Paris is where it was dismembered. There was a Count Venelik, somebody that was believed to have bought one of the pieces. Is that correct?
Yes, let me name check that for you.
Probably go to the library to...
Comte Venelik is his name. I'll write that in chat for you guys. Comte Venelik.
Well, I totally patted that up. Wasn't his name Count Venelik or something?
We should probably go look for like a consensus or something in a library to see if he's still alive or how long ago it was or where he might have been.
Yes, or like a family home that he has. That he keeps the thing there. Yes.
So, okay, where do you want to start looking around for Mr. Fenelick, or word of Mr. Fenelick?
Well, if he's a count, I would imagine there is some record of him in the librry.
That's what I was thinking. You're learning.
Okay.
Yes, I have learned 1 or 2 things off you, Nancy, yes.
So proud.
All right, so the Bibliothèque Nationale is this giant, sprawling building filled with all sorts of books and texts, invariably in French and in different languages. You'll need to get translations as well of some of these.
I speak a little French.
You speak a little French. There you go.
Not a little.
I'll put your hand out to you guys here in a second, and you will require a ticket to look into the aisle particular that you are interested in. So there's this huge kind of like sprawling basically ledgers which will show like the genres of books that you want to look into, and there's this nice young French secretary at the desk who does speak some English, who will tell you that greetings, you will need a ticket to go to the aisle and the book that you are looking. What are you interested in particular?
Family trees and family history.
Okay. Any families in particular?
Fenlicks. I'm a great grandson of the Fenlick.
He's a distant relation.
We're doing some, Ancestry.com kind of shit.
It's definitely not a thing at this time. So I should be able to push this handout to you guys. You're seeing the Bibliothèque Nationale?
Ooh, yes.
I'll show this on for chat as well. But yeah, it's this several 2-storiesless thing with all sorts of books around and different aisles. There's a whole floor plan there. She smiles and begins to do a little bit of research for you. Gives you the appropriate aisle and gives you a ticket to look into that appropriate aisle as well. Now, this research is going to take you some time, and it's going to require a library use roll for anyone who's looking into this stuff. So if you want to,
I'd like to roll too. I'm pretty good with library. Where's our librarian when we need her?
Yeah, right.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no!
Did you fail?
I did, but I can use 3 luck to pass.
Okay, I would have had to use 7 luck, so I'll let you take that.
That's all right. I'll do the luck. We're all good. We're all good.
All right.
That was a spectacular fail by Paul.
50 library assistant. Just like 57.
So
Yes. So with luck, I just pass.
yeah.
Pat yells out at one point, "Hey, these books are all in French." It's been like 2 hours, right?
So
They are.
yeah, okay. So also remind you guys, we are just one follower away from another viewer decision. So if you haven't joined us yet, go ahead. Okay, so this is going to take you the best part of this day to look into. You're having to translate stuff. Most of it has to go through Harvey. I'm guessing if he speaks, he's the one that speaks most French here. And so you're starting to piece bits together. It's late, like 10 or 11 p.m. By the time that you feel like you have a good understanding of who Mr. Fenelick is or was. Looking through this, a number of court histories refer to an unspecified scandal in the Queen's court on the eve of the Revolution, when a man of minor nobility was apparently involved in an indiscretion with the Queen. After a palace uproar, the fellow was executed without trial, and the man was a German count named Fenelick.
It's always the Germans! Sorry. Just flashbacks from the last game.
So you've got that understanding that there's he's dead. You delve further and through the rest of the night as you're up, lots of caffeine is involved, I'm guessing.
Turkish coffee.
Yeah, you're going through the different bits of the library or anything that you can find with Fenelick or Comte, and you accumulate a diary of a member of the Queen's Court. It discusses the Fenelick incident and its outcome. And for the most part, it deals with petty intrigues and affairs which plagued the court, but it also relates to an incident involving a Comte Fenelick in June 1789. Damaged by water, parts of the manuscript are now illegible. And I should be able to push another handout to you here. So this little diary entry which you have, and we'll let Mr. What's his name? Harvey. That's his name. Read this one out. It'll probably take a second to upload. Knowing this.
Okay.
So.
Not in French, is it?
It's thankfully it isn't. They've been kind enough to actually print the book in in English, which they didn't have to do. It could have been all in French, to be fair.
They could have gone hardcore.
They really could have done. Thank God they didn't. Show the players.
Okay.
That's tiny on the screen for those of you in chat. But Harvey, you don't mind reading that out for us?
No. Oh, hang on, let me just switch over here to this one so I'm not looking away. Let me just zoom in so I can see. The Comte was like a sun amongst us, shedding his light and making all rejoice in his pleasures. His feasts are said to be the most lavish and lascivious? Lascivious, yet seen in our city. It was then that it became apparent that much evil was afoot, and the Queen became angered. The king's men did raid the house, and much was destroyed, and the Comte was arrested.
So that's what you gain on the first night, and you've been trawling through this for ages, and that's pretty much what you've got. I'll let you guys roll me one more library use skill at this point before anything else.
Come on.
Come on,
Believe. Oh, no.
Oh,
No, I'm too
yes,
tired.
success.
I'm too tired.
Success.
Success.
That's pretty good.
Damn, I got closer.
You're like, oh, not all of these are in French.
Close for
Actually,
those
you
to
really
go.
did. Very close.
Okay, what I want from you guys in chat for this next few decision is for you guys to tell me what one of the books is about underneath this line in chat, and make it horror themed, make it creepy, my friends. So you, Nancy, managed to uncover another pertinent diary entry. There are so many which are just like not necessary whatsoever. Should be pushed to you now if you don't mind reading this one out for us. You got that one? Comped 2?
Yeah, alright.
Fantastic.
It's loading for a second on my screen. Alright. It's tiny, so I'm blind, so... Alright, I'll read it like Nancy. When we arrived, the feast was still in progress. Men and women were rutting like rabid dogs. We chased them out, arresting the ones who were not able to vouch for themselves. I sent Julian and 5 others to capture the Comte while I entered the chambers beneath. I cannot bring myself to describe what I saw there, save that we had entered a cesspool and it was hell. God protect us. Many devices of torture lay in many chambers. One of my men found a strange Nuremberg Virgin, which was locked. Fearing to find a fresh occupant, we smashed it open, but within we found only the stinking refuse of some poor wretch long dead. It was a dark day when noble vermin such as Fenelic did descend upon Poissy. And if God does not punish him for his sins, then the king surely will. It was with a just heart that I did give the order to burn the house and those who remained within, though the Comte did howl and scream as though his very soul was burning. We then took him to the place that would be his new home. There he may rot.
So they burnt down his house where he could have been keeping it.
Aye. Maybe he took it with him.
Maybe. I don't know how big this thing is. We don't even know what it looks like, do we?
It's a piece, but he was buried with it.
Maybe. Well, I think we need to know what it is and what it looks like. Perhaps in the morning we could examine more on the pieces that we need to.
True. Could also been smuggled out by one of the people right in the house.
Quite possibly.
Yep. Yep.
Do we have a location of where this house was, or did that not?
You can look that up. And looking into the villa, it was destroyed and built back over several years ago. You have a location of the Comte's villa, but it doesn't seem as though anything that was once there remained after the revolution. A lot of buildings were destroyed and rebuilt in the years that followed. You haven't finished the diary. You know, there's more to it. It's just finding the pertinent pieces of information within it. So you could stay up all night. You're going to be very tired if you do, but you could continue to look into the diary.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Well, I'm exhausted, so you're more than welcome to continue it, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to go to bed and tackle this with fresh eyes in the morning.
So is the Orient Express tomorrow or the day after? The day after, right?
Day after.
Day after.
Yeah, we got one more day.
All right. Yeah, I ain't going by myself alone anywhere anymore.
I think we should get some sleep. It wouldn't pay for us to be too tired, just in case.
Agreed.
Okay.
I guess we should find an inn.
Oh, we've got a hotel.
You got a hotel you can stay at, you know. Yeah, okay. So, you guys go back to your hotel and rest and sleep. Do you guys want to do anything during the night, or are you all good?
Sleep.
Just
Essentially, that's.
Write a bunch of notes down in my little notebook and then sleep.
Okay.
Is there such a thing as, and this is how stupid I am, but is there any kind of communication between the continent and England via like telegraph or telephone?
Yeah.
At this point, has there been cable laid through the channel?
I believe you can certainly telegram through. 23. Can you phone across the continent? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
under the impression you could.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just say we can.
Yeah, let's say we can.
Then if you say we can't, we can't.
Yeah.
Is there any way that Harvey could contact his boy James and see if he can't get some information from one of the inspectors up there?
Ugh, not Finley.
The other guy, Fleming.
What information would you want James to look for from the inspectors?
Well, remember when we had those 3 guys that found out dead and it was Macriat? If we could find, they were all stabbed in the heart. So either they were deliberately stabbed in the heart by some type of sacrifice, or somebody had to fight these cats off and stabbed them in the heart. And I'd like to know, one, was it, appeared to be a defensive wound? Was there a struggle or something? And 2, if there was anything strange about the heart wounds, like strange metal, or was there something abnormal about what was found around it whenever they were doing basic metallurgy and forensics for the opening?
Well, I could ask him, but he'll most likely be only to get things from newspapers.
If he responds at all, because he kind of thinks we're dead.
Oh yes.
Well, I was gonna be nice of you to also say, hey, you hear me? I'm alive, but
don't tell anyone.
Yeah, shh.
Yes. I mean, I could try. Whether he'll be able to get that information, which is probably classified or whatever, I'm not sure. But he can give it a go. He can have a look at newspapers and magazine articles and stuff like that. And perhaps
there could be newspapers here. We could find
maybe
for.
Or maybe with enough leverage of whiskey in the right inspector's pocket, maybe. But
you do have that 90 credit rating.
I do, but he doesn't approve of doing stuff like that because he would be the one going to jail if they decided to. And I wouldn't want to put it. But
that's why
I'm
you
more than
drink
happy
with the inspector.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to give him a call and see what he can bring up. But that does leave the risk of getting out that I'm still alive. And knowing James, he will want to tell my parents immediately.
Well, there was a Turkish guy that showed up at the same hotel or the pub where we were. So I don't think
he could have been checking just to see if we had gotten actually killed on the train, or if we had made it to the nearest town.
That was super coincidence.
Yeah, I agree. I think they think we're still alive. Personally.
All right.
But I mean, I can do that if that's yes. I'll do that. I'll go phone just before I go to bed and tell James to see if he can give us any information about the.
Yeah, see if Henry popped up in the papers again. I'm sure he's dead too.
Yeah, you ring, but the phone rings through. And, you try several times, but James isn't picking up. And no one picks up within the house.
But it's most likely they're not even there anymore.
Well, it's late,
Yeah, they might be asleep or... Yes.
Let's cross our fingers that they're asleep.
Yeah,
No, I'd rather not even consider...
Then let's not consider or think about that and just get straight to bed.
Yes, good idea.
Here, have a nightcap, Harvey.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, you guys fall asleep, and Harvey, you find yourself in quite a fitful sleep, and you are kind of racked by this vision of your house, your estate devouring itself, opening its doors if it were a mouth and devouring all of the occupants in the house. And it's one of those dreams where you're falling down and you find yourself falling into the house, into the kind of maw of the mouth, and that's where you kind of wake up in a fit of sweat and panic, and you realize that it's already time to wake up.
I need my morning cup of tea. And I guess I go to the bathroom, splash my face and wash and do my morning routine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you feel a bit better after that, and you realize that, the cold light of day, everything's okay, but it definitely unsettled you. Are we straight back to the library this morning, then?
Well, after breakfast.
Well, of course.
Yes.
And, maybe a shop or two on the way to the library.
Sure.
This is our last day, everybody.
Yeah.
Our last day.
I would like to see the Eiffel Tower.
We'll take...
Look, there it is. There we go.
Right,
Yeah,
there we go. I see it now. We're good. It's behind a lot of buildings.
We will go. We'll have some late night shopping and then have a nice meal at the top.
Open
of the
late
Eiffel
at night. The
Tower
city's
at
crazy.
night.
I love it. Let's do
Yes. It stays open. It stays open.
Okay.
24-hour city.
it.
Yeah, that's
She's
it.
just-
The city that never sleeps.
Yeah, I
So, alright, yeah, you're gonna head back to the library and go back to the research. It's another library use roll from each of you.
All
right.
Let's go.
When we go in, is the same little cute clerk working there that was working there before?
She is, yeah.
I asked her if 1923 racism. Is there any Turkish men that came in to use the library? I'm
Oh.
looking for my old buddy.
Um,
His name was.
She's French, so she's super racist. No, she's she seems to be like a bit nervous about talking about it. She's I cannot really discuss, the clientele of the library. It would be against policy,
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I was just wondering if between two friends, like, we're sitting here having a conversation, we're being friends. If you happen to see anybody like that, just so I could be friendly with them. It's a friend thing. We're trying to all be friends.
Is it American? Okay. Roll me a persuasion.
Oh shit.
Go. I believe in you. I believe.
I believe in you too.
Well,
You have the worst persuasion.
Yeah, she says, "I'm sorry, I could lose my job over this,
oh yeah, okay, whatever. All right, well, let me tell you this: if you see a Turkish man, and he's coming in here and he asks about us, be the same kind of asshole you are right now. Don't have a thing about it.
Wow.
Wow.
She like straightens her back and she kind of like flushes red, like slams a book down, and lets you go
So much
past.
for her helping us.
Don't pay too much attention to him.
Oh, fuck her.
He's a rude American.
So, what were the library rolls? Any successes?
Yes, I had a high success.
Nice.
Very-
Okay. So,
I had a pretty good success.
you return with your ticket back to the library, and should be pushed to you now. Comped free. If you'll read this one out for us, Harvey.
Yeah, no problem. Let me just have a look. 2 nights later, the soldiers of the king went in force to the Comte's villa to halt his excesses. After they burned his mansion, they brought the Comte before the king's deputy, who then ordered me present to deliver an opinion. Comte Fenelick was screaming and writhing. It was easy to see that he was mad. As a nobleman and a madman, he could not be executed. So I suggested that a merciful king might place Fenelick in Charenton?
Yeah.
The king's deputy apparently decided upon this course and arranged that Fenelick be taken there. Later, the king expressed his approval, and the disposition was made permanent. The last I learned of him was that he had been locked away in a cellar because he had attacked other patients. So they essentially threw him into an asylum?
Seems that way.
Whatever version of asylums they had in the 1700s.
And it would seem as though the asylum is called Charenton. Or
Charenton.
Sheraton for us.
Sheraton. Yeah, Sheraton.
Okay, this Sheraton. Can we get? Is it still in operation? Like, is it something that we have to look for? Or
You'd have to look it up.
Hey, could somebody ask the clerk to?
Yeah.
Give me a ticket. So you look into the history of Charenton, and you actually stop by these old books on this place, which, you know, it would seem to confirm that it is an asylum for those who are, you know, mentally unwell. This time is, you know, not a time which very well understands any kind of mental illnesses or anything like that. So a lot of people would have gone there after the war. If you're like shell-shocked or, you know, you got some PTSD or anything, you know, a lot of people would have ended up in this place. However, something of interest is that there is an article in a newspaper, and as you're looking through articles on Sheraton, you find this newspaper clipping. Pat, do you want to read this one out for us?
Oh, great. Yeah, sure. I gotta make it bigger. I'm old.
Yeah, it's small.
Lord almighty. Alrighty. Dr. Etienne Del Place. We mourn the loss of our esteemed director, Dr. Etienne Del Place, a man of the highest professional standards and a true pioneer in the field of neurology. His loss by tragic accident comes as a great blow. We at the hospital extend our heartfelt sympathies to his family, hoping that they may overcome their grief in time. Dr. Del Place will be missed by the Sheraton community, Paris at large, the glorious nation of France, and civilized men everywhere. Dr. Francois Leroux, acting director.
So, yeah, it would appear as though the leading doctor at Sheraton, Dr. Etienne Del Place, has recently passed away. Doesn't say how he's died, but that's just recent papers. This is, you know, dated 2 days ago.
Oh,
Okay.
very recent. A little suspicious, perhaps.
Yep. Oops, that ain't it. Okay, we got two things we can do here. We need to go to Sheraton and talk to Francois Leroux and check out the cellar and hope that this doctor that just died didn't find whatever it was of the simulacrum when what's his nut brought it there and pocketed it and put it somewhere on his person, because that would suck, because that's too much investigating. But we got to get there and talk to Francois Leroux and then check the cellar out for Fenelix remains or secret away.
No
or...
such thing as too much investigating.
Well, it is for me. Library use sucks, and so does my persuasion. So.
I suppose that we should definitely head to this place. See what we can do. Did it say how he died? I don't think it did.
No, it just said everyone was saddened by it, which usually means it was a surprise. Tragic accident. That sounds like a surprise.
Did it say when he died?
2 days ago.
2 days. Should be a newspaper article about it. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that is a newspaper article.
All right, sorry, I was grabbing
It's just,
a cover.
yeah, no, it's just a little kind of like square, you know, like obituary, sort of like this important person died.
Well, I'm sure someone knows how he died or something like that. It might be worth
Investigating. I agree.
investigate, or we could try and hit in the books once more, see if we can find anything else.
Ugh. We've been in this library an awful long time.
Or we could split the party.
That seems like a good idea.
That's great. That's the best thing you can ever do. 3 different directions.
I'm down with it. Let's go.
Call Cthulhu lasts 2 sessions. Everyone dies. I'll kill Turks. But, no. I think we should definitely go to this, Sheraton place. Ask some questions. We can always come back to the library if we need to. It'll be open.
Yes. I suppose there's no harm in trying. The thing is, I'm worried that we still don't know what this thing looks like, so...
I think it's one of those things where we might know it if we see it.
Right.
Because it's not going to be something super terribly normal, you know? It'd be like, oh, that's a weird thing. That's probably it.
I'm gonna go with your gut, Nancy. It's normally pretty good. So yes. Okay, let's go check this place out.
Alright. So, you're gonna head to the asylum of Sheraton.
because this can't go poorly.
Yeah, because nothing
know,
ever goes
right?
wrong in horror games.
It is during the day.
It is during the
Correct.
day. Thank God. We're not going here at night.
Yeah.
Never go at night doing this.
Definitely going to be very well lit. In
Only
there, of
opened
course.
at night.
Uh, so yeah, you head to the asylum. It's like walled, gated, but you are buzzed in, and you roll up to this quite fair-looking a villa, basically, which has been converted to essentially what looks like a hospital. Several wings to it. People are coming and going in nurses, doctors' outfits, and stuff like that. So it's clearly a functioning place. You step into the reception, and there is a woman there. Her badge would name her Rogniat, Miss Rogniat, and she's currently filing papers. And she looks up at a group of you as you enter. Says something in French. Bonjour.
Oh, bonjour, monsieur. Or mademoiselle, I think that's right.
That's right. She's a woman.
Sorry. She is a woman, right?
She
Yes,
is a
yeah.
woman. Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, my French is a little rusty.
She anglais. Oui. How can I help you?
Oh, I was wondering if you could direct us as to what happened to Dr.
Let me read my paper.
I need to read my note, and it's so small that I have to.
It's Dr. Etienne Delplace.
Etienne Delplace. Yes, Dr. Etienne Delplace. I was wondering if you could give us some more information about what happened on this such a tragedy.
Oh, it is, very sad. We're not. It's policy not to discuss the nature of the death. You understand, it is still a very recent wound to Sheraton and the community. I know that Dr. LaRue is in charge now, so perhaps you could book an appointment with him?
Perhaps we can. When is the nearest appointment?
Let me check. And she, with hope goes into a book and then turns a page, turns another page, turns another page in a diary. How is 2 weeks from now?
As she flips
12.
As she flips over her last page, I slide my State Department credentials across, and I say, "Honey, I ain't gonna be here for 2 weeks. We just need about 5 minutes of the doctor's time. It would help out the great nation of the United States if the equally great nation of France could come together on this and maybe have a little sit down."
She, passes it back to you after taking a look at it. Oh, okay. I will talk to the doctor and tell him you are here.
Oh, thank you so much.
That badge is really useful. Can't wait to get mine from Scotland Yard.
It's also 4 years
Monday.
expired, but
Yeah, who doesn't know that?
You notice around her desk several crates of materials. It looks like they're moving things out, all of which are covered currently. She goes back behind a door, is away for a few moments. She comes back.
wait. She disappears for how long?
She's gone for a good 20 seconds if you want to do anything in this.
20 seconds?
Yeah.
Are you
You
quick
said-
enough?
You said that there's stuff in her desk,
Crates.
correct?
Yeah, crates below a desk which look like they've been recently moved.
Just peek.
Yeah,
I want to peek. Just a little peek.
Yeah, I want to just get a look like that,
Okay, yeah. You get a quick peek.
But I'm gonna make Nancy do it
Oh!
Okay.
because my
That-
peepers ain't what they used to be.
Nancy, you
Yeah.
can roll me a dex just to
Dex,
try and dive in here and
okay.
grab it.
Dicks.
Don't fuck up, Nancy.
Okay, I'll try not to. I don't because I'm awesome.
Wow.
A badass.
That is a good roll. So you managed to slip it open and you see that the book reads "The Journal of Dr. Del Place." Do you grab it or do you leave it?
Oh hell yeah, I grab it
All right. You grab it and
and stuff it just straight
Stuff
up my
it away.
petticoats. Yep.
yeah.
Straight up petticoats.
And Miss Rogniat returns a few moments later and says, "Dr. LaRue will see you now."
Fantastic.
Thank you.
If you'll follow me, and she leads you around to Dr. LaRue's office, which looks like it's recently been replaced. Like the name tag on the door has recently been replaced. You can see like the sticker where it's been like peeled away, and you look inside to see Dr. LaRue, who is quite a vicious-looking French gentleman. He's got some, combed back hair, which is definitely receding, and he has a little moustache as well. He smiles and says, thank you. Welcome in. I understand that the American police are involved in something. I'm not too sure, but Miss Rognia told me that it is important, so you have 5 minutes of my time.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Doctor, for your time in this time of mourning, I'm sure. We were actually on our way to talk to the late doctor, and I'm sure that you can help us out with this. We are actually a part of the State Department looking for lost war assets from the Great War. We want to make sure that everything that was taken by occupying forces is returned to where it needs to go. And a couple of these soldiers have brought back certain things, and we have reason to believe that perhaps your cellar, some of the people that later became inmates of yours, we understand that you house some of their artifact or some of their possessions, and when they pass away, you store them in certain places. We heard the cellar. That's what the doctor told us.
I.e. the basement.
They are, I'm afraid, mistaken. Nothing is held in the cellar these days. Perhaps they used to be, but recently we've moved everything. Management has changed everything around. There is a room, a storage room for all of the possessions. But honestly, there's not very much in there. The patients that come in are
well, that's
very
great. That means
rarely
it shouldn't take us very long to look through it all then.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I'll tell you what. My boss back in Washington, if he knows, he sent me across the ocean to look at every little nick and cranny that I can look at. All I need to do is go down that cellar, stand there for 5 minutes, and leave. And I'll say I checked that place from tip to tail. That's all I need. And I'll be out of your hair. This conversation's over.
He kind of sits back and says, "Is this in relation to the death of Dr. Del Place?"
Well, Dr. Del Place was going to help us with all this, but obviously we got here a little too late.
Do you know how he died?
Most likely killed by an electroshock machine. But no one knows for sure because, well, it's tough to say. I was the first on the scene. It was all very, very shocking, I just found him there dead.
Can I roll something to see if this guy's totally full of shit?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I want to be the head asylum dude.
Yeah, can some of these guys who are way better than I am at this shit roll something to figure out if this guy...
Sure.
Unfortunately, Harvey isn't a suspicious kind of person yet, so he wouldn't
Would this be like a
really-
psychology?
A psychology roll would be appropriate
Alright.
for us, yeah.
I'm a detective.
Christ.
But I'm much better at persuasion, so we'll see how this goes. Hey, super success!
Damn, yeah.
At 50.
He's definitely hiding something from you. How does no one know how he was killed if he was the first one on the crime? Maybe he covered something up, maybe he
I'm gonna
hasn't been
just,
telling the whole truth.
So you say you're the first one on the crime. I'm a bit of an investigator myself. Here working, a bit with Scotland Yard. And you say you're the first on the scene. What did he look like? Could you give me a description of it?
Oh, it was
Bit curious how he died 2 days before we were supposed to come here for this investigation.
it was very, very shocking, There
was electricity involved, I would imagine. It'd be shocking.
It was, I walked in and he was lying dead on the floor. I checked for a pulse. There was the machine there, and there was his, the patient he had been working on, who was strapped down, to the table. I think his name was Guimart. He was...
What was his name?
Oh, he is still here. Forgive me. He calls him, I don't hate to say this, Guy Mart. I'll put it in roll 20.
Cool.
Gimat, we'll call him for now.
Okay.
He was there, and I very quickly called the police.
Awesome. Has this Philip been of any, trouble beforehand? Could there have been some sort of altercation between the two?
Oh, no. No, I don't think so. The doctor in charge of Gimat most of the time is Mr. Mandarin, Paul Mandarin. He says that he is, a very good patient, and he knows more about Dr. Del Place. He worked very closely with him. I worked in a different ward, you understand?
Of course.
Now, look here. I kind of pull him aside. I'm like, I understand, but Americans and all, they aren't always necessarily the easiest to get along with. If there's anything, you'd like to tell me strictly off the books, you can confide in me.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. Yeah. This is where I'm gonna fail utterly. Oh, super success!
Wow, damn.
I am such a good investigator. Scotland Yard wants me so bad.
He says, well, Dr. Del Place said something odd to me the night before. He had said, it is within my grasp. He said, each of us holds the keys to our old racial memory. In our dreams we speak languages we have never known. Soon I shall have the proof. Something like that. He was raving. He seemed very odd, and he was doing something with the patient, I think. If I'm honest with you, it all seemed a little ugly, so I haven't said anything to the police. There have been allegations of misconduct of patients.
Understandable. I can totally see your position. Your secret is safe with me, but I will take it into consideration. Credit to something else, but could be very helpful in determining, some things.
He said that there is this misconduct was not. There are rumors of complaints. I have not seen them myself, but I have heard that several of the staff have been implicated or in sexual misconduct on patients.
Could you give me any names of the staff?
I don't know if I should be doing that,
I won't ask any questions directly, but just so I can keep an eye on suspicious behavior while we're here looking around.
Guimard. He has been... Anyway, I shouldn't really be saying all of this, it's...
I understand. I appreciate your cooperation. It's a great help. Help to keep this place up and running, and because too many rumors get about, without the problem being solved, could shut down. Hate for that to happen. My goal is to keep, you guys in business.
Yeah, hopefully I've been of some help, if there's anything else, you can feel free to look into the storage room and look around there if you wish.
Thank you so much for that. The boss here, Nancy, I'm sure that you would like to look maybe through the doctor's things to make sure he didn't leave us any notes.
Oh, that's true. We did have an appointment with him. So would that be all right?
There was very little recovered from the doctor. There is some research you could look at, I suppose. His diary is, I believe it's out there with Miss Rogniat.
All right. Thank you very kindly. I'll take a look at that research. Shine some light on the situation.
Wait.
All right.
And he, smiles politely and
I give him a, big
dabs
smile.
his brow.
Curtsy.
The handkerchief. So where do you guys want to go? Where do you want to look?
Everywhere.
Can we look through the boxes that are under the table?
The research.
Yeah.
I want to look through
Because
there.
I have the journal, so.
I want to look through there, but at some point when we're looking through there, whatever we find, once it's we've either found what we're looking for or not found, at some point I want to say, wait a minute, Dr. LaRue said there was a journal in here somewhere.
I'm like,
I know what it is. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I know we have it. But
yeah,
I think we have it if we ask where it is.
Yeah.
yeah. She's like, I should definitely look for it.
Miss Rognia. Oh, it must have gotten misplaced somewhere. I'll go searching in the in the records. It must be around here somewhere.
All right, well, look through his research while you go do that.
Oh, okay.
Right, thank you.
So looking through the research notes of Dr. Del Place, you see that he's heavily interested in the use of electroshock therapy on his patients to cure various illnesses of the mind, of diseases of the brain, as he refers to them as, which is probably not an uncommon turn of phrase for people of this time. He's particularly been, working on, different patients, and he seems to have, notes in the sidebar of, quote-unquote sidebar of his work, which seem more and more frantic, and he speaks about getting closer to understanding the truth.
In there, the doctor said something about, he said he was racial memory, and that seemed an awful lot like what the professor was talking about during his symposium.
It does. Racial memory craziness. Whatever that's supposed to mean.
I'm wondering if he found the piece.
Perhaps it's the simulacrum we're looking for.
Maybe that's making him think all this crazy shit, because thinking that the piece is here and then he's just independently doing all this stuff, that seems a lot like the professor's kind of a stretch.
It does indeed. And the mentions of sexual deviancy throughout here is also reminiscent of that from the journal pages we found in the library about all the, the cesspool and stuff.
Oh, see, I just thought that was France. Oh, okay. Oh,
I mean, it could be. I've never been here before. Harvey, is this what France was like when you were here for the war?
Oh, no, not at all.
All right, it's probably has something to do with what we're looking for then.
No,
Right
we
ass,
don't.
right ass, caught, gotcha. No.
Heavens, no.
Of course
No.
not. No.
No.
Wartime.
Well, when I was around in France, most of the time we were building things and removing corpses and rebuilding this country from the devastation of the Great War.
Hey,
Suppose
sure,
it-
that's all you were doing, and she like wink, wink, nudge.
So, go ahead, Pat.
No, I was just going to say, out of character, Pat doesn't believe this nurse exists at all.
Miss Rognier returns, and she looks. I did you find it? I couldn't find it anywhere in storage.
We didn't find the journal, but this research has been very enlightening. Like you were going to look through that storage room now. You said,
Good. The doctor mentioned that you might want to speak with some of the employees. Is that the case? I can set up a meeting if you need to speak with anyone.
We were curious about talking to Dr. Mandarin a bit after we looked through the storage a bit.
Oh, wait, yeah, of course. I'll make that happen.
Thank you.
Is he Turkish?
No.
Just checking,
She gives you a weird look.
It's a simple question. It's a simple racist question.
Different
Simple racist
investigation.
question, lady.
She's just like a different investigation.
Oh, okay. So you head to the storage room, and there are kind of lockers of different people's belongings and possessions. It would seem as though Dr. Del Place's possessions are in a locker, and the rest of them are numbered and named for various different inmates. I guess not inmates, patients would probably be the term, for those staying at the asylum. You've been given a key to the one for the doctor. The others you haven't been given access to.
It's alright. I've got lockpicks. We're good.
So do I.
I've got the locksmith skill.
Yeah.
Am I the only gentleman here? I mean,
Harvey, I am a lady. There's no way I could be a gentleman.
That's very true.
Makes sense.
I can't speak for
I'm not sure if I'd call you a lady, but
I'm not sure if I should take offense to that.
well,
We'll call it good. Just start reading for names, looking for any names on the lockers, like for Yui Mart
Sure. You find
or
yeah.
that old guy that was here a long time ago.
There is-
Fenlick.
Yeah, there is no locker for Fenlick. That would have been way too long ago, most
Yeah.
likely. But you do find Dr. Del Place, Dr. Leroux's, Guimard's, and Mandarin.
Ooh, okay.
Get to picking.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys open the one with the key, and I'll start picking up this one. I think we'll look at Dr. Mandarin's first, since he apparently worked closely with Dr. Del Place.
Yeah.
I would like Del Places too.
All right, you open up. We'll go with Guimard's first. So he is the another doctor or perhaps a nurse that works at the asylum. Seems to work in a different ward from this, referred to on a locker as restricted ward, which you guys would probably assume is for the worst case patients, which require the most electroshock, and which even you guys haven't been given access to. So that's where Guimard works. If you want to try and open up his locker, you're gonna have to give me a let's see. Is there a lock-picking skill?
Yeah, there is.
Skills.
It's like locksmith.
Yeah, locksmith will be the skill required to break into.
Let's see if I
Guimard's
can do
locker.
this. I don't have a huge skill, but I do have a skill in it. Oh, I am going to use a little bit of luck. I'm going to use 7 points of luck to open it up.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So, looking for his possessions, you find a diary, several, boring bits. You know, he's got some spare keys in here. You know, a couple of like posters of his favorite French band.
Yeah.
The diary is the most important, interesting-looking thing. You probably have to give this to Harvey to have a quick flick through.
Yeah, I definitely will. And I'll see if any of the keys fit the locker, and if there's an extra, I'll just take it.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Okay, yeah, you can grab the keys and they will fit the locker, so it looks like you haven't actually broken
Awesome.
this thing open, I guess.
Yep.
Trigger warning. Harvey,
Yep.
the diary explains in great detail the sexual misconducts which Guimard performs upon various members of the patients. His routine is that once a month he'll take someone down to the cellar, assault them, and then return them, and then he will electroshock them using the machines there, and because they're insane, no one's ever going to believe him. So he goes into quite great and terrifying detail about his misconducts, deviancies, and he's pretty open about it in his diary. He actually seems to be proud
It's a
about
diary.
it.
It's secure.
Yeah, he seems to be proud of himself. He thinks he's very clever. He's got several notes about various different victims of his.
Dear diary, great session today.
Excellent session.
Right.
Oui, oui.
Okay.
Do any of the keys in the ring of keys
Yeah.
open up the
Any of
deceased
the other
doctor's
lockers?
locker? Yeah.
They don't.
Okay.
Shit.
I'm just basically going to tell them generally what's in it with very little detail, just a general.
Harvey, you can run me a sanity check. Reading this stuff is pretty
Not
pretty
nice.
scary. Yeah,
Especially
not
for a
pleasant.
posh
Kind of
guy.
makes me want to punch him in the face.
Yeah, you
I pass. I
nice,
pass.
good job. So yeah,
Very nice.
And I pocket the diary.
Cool.
I think the police are gonna get a look at that.
take a fucking good look at that one.
Is there a pen around or a pencil or writing implement?
Sure.
Like something?
Yeah,
Okay. Pat wants to get a piece of paper and a pencil, and he wants to write in French with Harvey's help, "We know," and put it in his locker when we close it.
Nice.
Are you sure we should be leaving things like that behind?
Maybe it'll save somebody. I mean, this guy's doing terrible shit. We're not here. We don't have any real authority. We can't stop him.
That's true, but we could, report this to the police, and that should help.
Oh, that's what I'm going to do. Yes, definitely. I'm assuming that I'm hoping this diary is distinctively his diary, like the diary of,
Of course.
actually,
Yeah, it's
it's
my
He's French.
diary. Yeah,
that's all right.
It's
I don't
like,
want to hand this
signed.
in and then thinking it's mine.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
He's
So you,
doodled all on the front cover. Of
I
it
am the
with his
best
name.
sexual predator in the world, and my name is Doctor.
there is several hons written out. All right, so you write "Nous savons" in on the piece of paper. We know, and
Right.
place it in his locker.
If Dr. LaRue was fairly honest, I think we should check in that Dr. Mandarin, because he was working close with Del Place.
Yeah, do you guys want to do that? And we need to check the cellar. Something tells me that cat's down there right now.
Well, let's get through here. I don't think we should split up in this mental asylum while they're doing all this crazy stuff to people.
I know. I want to shoot something.
Alright, you might wind up in the electroshock therapy chair.
Yeah, shit.
Alright, so I'm just gonna try to quickly pick the lock on Mandarins.
Okay, cool.
No, I
Nope.
super fail.
Breaks.
Shite.
That locker's gonna be pretty busted.
What about the dead doctors? He still has one, right?
Yeah, we have the key to his.
You have the keys to the Dr. Del
Or,
places.
I meant LaRue. LaRue has one, right?
Yeah, he hasn't given you the key to his own locker though. Have a look in my locker of doom. No, he's it's possible to break it though.
Is there any brooms or anything in this closet? Like it is a kind of a storage closet.
Yeah, there's probably a broom
Like
in the broom
anything
closet.
heavy. She wants to make it look like a broom fell over and hit the lock, and that's why it broke it.
That's
That
no-
is one sturdy broom.
They may be French, but they do not. They're not going to believe this most likely. But yeah, you prop a broom up next to it. Oops, the broom broke it.
If there's anything heavier or like bigger, she'd like.
I think
do
you've
that.
just
Okay.
insinuated the janitor tried to do that.
I know, I thought.
It was the janitor.
As
good.
soon as we're done, why don't we take the key that Laplace gave us, and we'll just put it into Mandarin's lock and break it off. And you can say I did it. Stupid American couldn't read what name was on what.
That's a good point. Let's do that. That's
Yeah,
smart.
yeah.
If they
Yes,
stop,
that's a good idea.
I look dumb enough.
It's fine as long as you're okay with that.
I'm fine. I got a thick eye.
All right. So sure. So do you want to open up any of the other lockers whilst you're at it?
I think we're all right.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to just steal from everyone.
Everything.
So sorry. Do you open Del Place's locker with the key that you have?
Yeah, we would do that before faking the break. Like, oh,
Okay, yeah.
our
Well,
bad.
Okay. So oh my bad.
We can't read.
So you can't get Mandarin's locker open, but you do open Dr. Del Place's with the key that you have. It opens up, and he's got a very neat, efficient kind of like way of ordering his own locker. He's got several research notes. Looks like he keeps a pocket diary purely of research that he's been into. One of the books in here, however, is much larger than any of the others and appears to be bound in a material which is definitely not leather. It is wrinkly and almost greyish.
Interesting. Let's take a look at these books.
Okay. So
I know, it's so bad.
so you can roll me a sanity check first of
Oh!
all.
Yep, that's what I figured.
No big deal.
I think that's a pass. That is a pass.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, you open up this like particularly odd book, and you realize with with some horror that what is binding this book is most likely some kind of human skin.
Old
or
human skin,
perhaps
so wrinkly.
perhaps animal. Yeah, it hasn't been like dried and like flattened. But you kind of tear open these pages, and they kind of like part as if they've been bound together for some time. It's in a language which you don't recognize. It looks like it might be some kind of Hebrew-based language.
This isn't
but-
French, is it?
It certainly assaults your eyes. and begins to give you quite this kind of spinning headache as you're looking at it, but it managed to resist the effects of the...
Alright, I close it, and like, this gives me a headache just looking at it. I don't think we should be reading this right now.
This place is somewhat... What's the word? Messed up? As I think...
I was thinking of something stronger.
Yes. Well, there are ladies present.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry.
Nancy,
Just like,
Nancy, you can also roll D10,000 from Tour School as you open up this book.
oh no!
Oh, school.
This is gonna be awful. 1d10. That makes sure there's enough zeros there.
Yep.
Alright, let's see what this is.
Alright, 6724. Okay, so so as you open this, all of you feel the room drop in temperature a good 10 to 20 degrees. It gets incredibly cold in here. The door is closed behind you. It's kind of like a sealed door where they keep like this evidence in, and you're in this already quite chilly room. So it's below freezing at this point, and you guys are getting really, really cold as she opens up this book.
Time to leave.
Yeah,
Time to leave.
Let's take the books and, put them in a bag and then close the locker. But bust the key in Mandarins, so it looks like we just got the wrong one. And then take the book out.
Yeah.
I hand the key, the key stump to...
The door which you entered into, this kind of... think like a refrigerator door, basically. If you guys are basically in a fridge. It is closed, and it might be the cold, but you can't get the handle on it. It won't turn. There is another door out which leads deeper into the asylum in this room, which is a similar sealed door.
Of course. Well, is there a window? Can I just
No windows in here.
I guess there's another way up, just a bit further in. Let's go.
I hand Harvey the shotgun I have underneath my jacket.
What is it? What?
You don't want that, Harvey? I'll take it.
Put it under your jacket.
Oh, very well. I'm not planning on shooting any ill people today.
If they're crazy and they're trying to eat us or, take us down to the basement, I think it might be best.
Well, that's something slightly different.
Alright. Let's go then.
Okay.
And we go out the other door.
Of course
hold on
the
a
other door
second.
opens up.
Can
Of course it does.
I'm gonna shoot the lock on the one we couldn't open.
Okay. Bear in mind you're in a sealed room.
Yeah!
Metallic.
Tinnitus, man.
Metallic walls.
I'd say plug your ears first.
So yeah, Pat kind of aims down at the lock. A blast goes off from his pistol as the revolver fires and shoots the lock. The lock kind of like turns, but it's one of these huge kind of sealed doors, and you're pretty sure you've broken the lock, but the handle still won't move. It's like sealed by cold, and you see it beginning to like frost over.
Oh shit! All right. Nobody comes though, right?
Nobody's coming. It's possible they can't hear you, but there's electroshock going on. There's loud
I would imagine
noises.
down here is soundproof as well.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, so they can't hear you screaming when they drag you down to the basement.
Great.
Alright, let's go. So the other door opened? Right.
The other door does open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Perfectly fine.
The sealed door opens, and it seems unaffected by the cold to this door, and opens into a long corridor. Before you, there are two doors in this place, in this current corridor, but it intersects at a T-junction halfway down, which will head either left or right. So you got before you, there's an office on the right-hand side. Beyond the T-junction, there's another office door. These all seem to be wards, and there are signs on the walls. At the T-junction leading to the right is the restricted ward. The T-junction to the left is surgery.
Has the temperature gone to normal? Is this still cold?
It's still cold in here. It's not freezing cold. You're beginning to get a little bit used to it. Your body is starting to acclimatize a bit, but you're still feeling kind of like the shudders. Your teeth are jittering.
Well, maybe I think we should just go to the office if there's anyone there to help.
I agree. And Nancy kind of like shivers closer to Harvey because she's just like, it's so cold.
It's more of an appointment room, correct? It's not like there's a desk in there and a receptionist. We're in the actual proper of the.
You're in the asylum now, yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, ain't no one gonna help us here.
What do you mean? They surely have nurses and matrons to look after the ward.
Yeah, the same guy that works in the restricted wing is going downstairs and diddling the patients.
Yes, well, he doesn't know that we know that. And he wouldn't want us to know that we know that as well. So it was most likely he will, let us out. I mean, we have reason to be down here. So I don't think we need to sneak around.
I'm pulling out both my guns.
Okay. Well, I still think we should find a member of staff.
So left was Drew, what was right?
Restricted.
Restricted.
Restricted,
let's
right?
Left surgery.
Left surgery.
Right,
All
and
right.
there's 2 doors. One is an office, I believe you said.
Yeah, they seem to be like offices. The one on the right certainly is. You'd have to go beyond the T-junction to see what this office beyond is. It might be a desk job kind of place, or it might be a ward, a cell for a patient to stay in.
Okay, I go forward and have a look. See if
Okay.
it's if anyone's in there. I mean, I'm not,
Yeah. So you walk past the office, which would appear to be empty on your right before the T-junction. Seems like the whoever works here is currently out. And you look to the door on the left beyond the T-junction, and there is a tiny little shutter which you can move back and forth by the looks of things. The door is like a thick, heavy door, and it would seem to be that there is a prisoner inside here, or a patient inside, I should say.
Yeah.
Because they're getting help.
Of course, all that electroshock
Is
therapy.
there just a prisoner in there? No other member of staff?
You could open it up if you want to have a look inside.
Can we see the prisoner? Is there like a window?
Can we like the little slot? Can we see what's in
Yeah,
there?
you'd have to open up the slot to have a look.
Yeah, I'll open it.
No, not the door, just the slot.
Yeah.
And we stand back so that we don't get our eyes gouged. Just
Yes.
So everyone who looks inside can roll me a sanity check.
No.
Great.
Sorry.
I was gonna say I'm not looking.
Sometimes it's best not to know, and Call of Cthulhu, yeah.
I'm okay.
Okay, good.
I'm okay too.
All right,
Yes.
nice.
Whew.
So, the Harvey and Nancy, the two of you your wits are tested as you see all along the walls there is writing in some. It doesn't seem to be ink. It's most likely blood, but it could be some form of paint. There are symbols of an eldritch design. Unknowable to your minds, something which you shouldn't understand and you can't possibly understand. It would appear to be symbols. Many of them appear to be circular in design, with several other intricate patterns laid in within. It seems as though there are someone of quite fine craftsmanship has done this thing. Someone's definitely has an eye for the artistic. Whoever's done this, it's not just random shapes drawn onto the walls and onto the floor. The body of the patient is on the electroshock desk, and strapped down, this person has had their they've been disemboweled. Essentially, they've had their innards removed from them. And it would appear as though the brain has been operated on as well.
Is this the same? Is this the same type of dissection that I saw in the upstairs of the hotel?
You'd have to take a look, Pat.
You'd have to take a look. Can I, before Harvey closes the slot, I think the police might need to see this. I want to take a picture because I have I have
Nice.
photography skills, so I'm gonna take a picture of it.
Okay.
Just hold the camera up to the slot. Might be good for police evidence.
Yes, we have to make sure that they don't know we have this evidence. Sort of seen
Of
it.
course.
They won't let us leave.
This is just all pictures of the Eiffel Tower.
Yes. So make sure you leave some film for the pictures of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, of course. I need a picture. I want like a picture of me, kind of like leaning against it.
Yeah.
Not really leaning. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Now we close the slot.
Okay.
Okay, so we have. Well, I suggest going left.
So
Yeah,
do you guys gonna tell Pat about this?
It's
No.
really fucked up in there. Don't look. I got a picture later if you really want to see.
Hadn't planned on it.
Lots of disembowelment and such.
It's a poor individual has been disemboweled and surgically worked on.
Well, it happens.
In this place, it does apparently.
Is there any signs that say like this, the universal going downstairs or anything like that?
Universal exit.
Yeah, there is no fire exit, unfortunately. You look to the surgery, which leads looks like it leads to a door, which leads to a set of stairs leading downwards.
Of course.
And the restricted wing has a sealed door, which looks like it would require a key to get through.
Looks like left it is.
Yes, let's go to surgery, I suppose. Maybe there's a staff member there.
I mean, I could try to pick the lock again.
I'd rather not actually go into the restricted.
I agree. Let's check out the surgery first. Although this belongs in surgery, I don't know why it's doing over here.
I know.
I don't want to know what surgery looks like. You're walking first, and I point to
To me?
Yeah,
I didn't look in the.
we looked in that room. It's your turn to see what's next.
Sure. That's even Steven. All right.
You do, of course, have a set of keys from Gimar, who works in the restricted area.
That's true. We do. I forgot about that.
So it is possible you could go in there, or if you wanted to try. But of course, surgery seems like a fun idea as well.
Oh, they both seem like fun. I hate asylums.
Could we open up the restricted door?
And then peek
Just
through
take a
it,
peek?
and then just close it if it's not good. I like that plan actually a lot.
You
I like
There's
that
a
plan a lot.
curtain in your way.
Yeah, you want to open up the sealed door to a restricted area.
Peek in, and then
Just a peek.
Just a peek.
Just a peek.
And he's doing the peek. And...
Yeah, just a peek, just a look into the limitless unknown. All right, yeah, you can certainly try. The key seems like it fits, Nancy.
Okay, here you go. I pat him on the back, and I stand next to Harvey with my arms crossed.
I'm at the other end of the corridor.
I've got my pistol. I've got
Ready
my guns out that I've been given, and I'm like, all right, you go. I got your back.
He's back in
All
the
right,
sealed freezing room.
All right, fuck this. I open the door and look in.
All right.
My gun,
So, yeah. So, Pat. So I guess Nancy kind of opens up this big kind of blast sealed door, and you have this kind of wave of cold air kind of blow over you, and even more freezing and chilling. The restricted area is a circular room, and you're looking down on it from here. There is basically a balcony which you're standing on. There are literally hundreds of doors to patients' cells, and they appear to, all be locked in here on several layers. However, you do notice one thing, Pat, which makes you feel a little bit uneasy. And you look at all of these doors, and you realize that every one of them is open.
Yes, close this door.
And that's all going to be wrapping up tonight's episode.
They're all open.
Not this one. So,
Just kidding. Let's go down to surgery.
JK, see you later.
But now we know that we can live like someone's walking around. There's probably.
Well,
man, I didn't realize he was so close to ending already.
yeah, I know. Time
3
gets
hours already.
it gets away, doesn't it, when we're doing these? Yeah. That is where our adventures in the French asylum end for now, my friends. But stick around, we've got another show coming your way, episode 2 of Tyrants Thrall, well, a Croissant crew are back and enjoying more adventures. We're rebelling against the rebels. We're revolting against the revolution. It's going to be some good stuff, so stick around for that show. But if you guys enjoyed tonight's show of Call of Cthulhu, Horror on the Orient Express, Episode 2, then please do let us know in chat what was your favourite moment of the show, what did we enjoy, and of course, if you missed last week's episode, Episode 1, and you can find it on YouTube, there's a nice little playlist there that you can find and have a watch if you want to catch up on the campaign. So let's go around with our cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Of course, all the information on cast members is available here on the website, but let's go around and get your thoughts and feelings. Let's start with Lindy.
Oh my goodness, so much fun. I didn't quite realize how quickly the time had gone by. I was so intense. And I was like, of course it's a mental asylum. It's always a mental asylum. Just whatever.
When is it not?
I always try to skip those levels in video games. They're the worst.
Yeah.
But I really liked Nancy getting to get her detective skills on a bit tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, we got horses. That was exciting too. Not gonna lie.
Got horses,
yeah,
sold horses.
Got horses, traded them for guns. Went to a mental asylum. Just checking off all the things on the list. But lots of fun. Super excited. Can't wait till next week. I'm gonna be thinking about this all day. But you can also, oops, I threw my pencil across the room intentionally. You can find me on here every Tuesday. And later this evening, I will be starting Out of the Abyss because we finished Curse of Strahd. So D&D at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram. It's LevelND. And I stream some video games. Almost ready to do cosplay streams. It's very messy-esque over there. But yeah, super excited.
Awesome. Awesome. Greg, your infos.
Oh, I had a great time. I wish Pat could have done more. This isn't really his. Shooting zombies on a train, I'm listening. Going through the library, I'm out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had just a super fun time. Love playing with you guys. You can find me on Twitter at Gregory, and it looks like Saint Angel. Talk about geek stuff. But I'll be thinking about this, so I might be talking about this too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Had a great time, man.
Yeah, also, I just remembered as well, throughout the week, I'm going to be tweeting a couple of clues on Twitter. So you guys in chat can help me solve them. And if you solve the clues, then our party members will get some clues next week as well. Or some horrific things. So
solve the clues.
Yeah.
We need all the help we can get. We're terrible.
Yeah.
We'll pay you. Harvey's good for you.
Yeah, he's got money. He's got money. Oh man. Okay, redundant yourself, my friend.
I can't believe 3 hours is already gone. I really can't. It just flies by. Amazing as always. Really, really good. Really getting into it. And oh my god, I just can't wait till next episode. We're doomed. But it's a good job I got the shotgun. It's a good thing bringing it with you. I think I'm gonna have to use it quite often. So, but yeah, so good, so good. I just can't wait. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/redundantuk. I'm currently streaming quite a lot of GTA 5 role-playing.
Nice.
You can also catch me on Twitter, which is at redundant_UK. And you can also check me out here in Encounter Roleplay. Only on Tuesdays, but I moderate the chat as well and all that fun stuff.
Awesome. Well, we're going to head into our next show now, my friends. Make sure to follow Redundant, Greg, and Lindy on the internets and check out their own fantastic projects. But we're going to head into Tyrant's Thrall here in just a few seconds. Louise is going to be DMing for us. Speedy's going to be playing with us along with Tall Squall and Josh and myself. So, yeah. Let us dive into our next countdown. Thank you guys, and until next time, try to draw 2 in that ones. They want to be going insane when you do. Goodbye, Bullet.